Welcome to round two of the NBA Draft 2026 edition, the Toronto Raptors edition. We are just about to get underway. There's already been a trade. The New York Knicks have traded the 31st pick to the Houston Rockets. Trades will come up as we get them. The big board is on the bottom of the screen on the ticker. You can watch. The Toronto Raptors obviously pick 50th in this draft. What are you holding out hope for? What are you waiting for? You want a point guard, you want a wing, you want an athletic wing. There's centers in this draft that are interesting, that have skill. There's a 7-footer who can block some shots. So this is an interesting thing. I will mention early, very early in this draft cycle, about 4 or 5 months ago, I would have told you that this was one of the deepest drafts, period. Right now, it feels really like you're grasping at straws to find value outside of 35, 40 maybe. But honestly, these are all hypotheticals. As much as I love Baba Miller, Henri Basar, as much as I like Isaiah Evans in spurts and you can squint your eyes, you can absolutely make a case that five of these guys are going to make it as NBA players, and there's 30 picks, and you're on the back end of that. So this is going to be a tough one for sure. Uh, Sahaj saying the Raptors should trade up. Well, if there's allegedly 32 is available, so if the Toronto Raptors do get 32, I wonder what they would do. How bonkers would it be if they go and trade, and they trade up for 32, they trade multiple, second round picks to do it. And then, oh, by the way, they draft Baba Miller. Y'all would lose your minds. Um, Draft.net has us picking Dylan Mitchell. Well, that would be very interesting. Let's talk about a few of these players. Why don't you write in the chat who do you want to talk about, and then pull up my notes and see what we can say about them. But I think a lot of people, there's some buzzy names. Okay, there's some buzzy names, and because guys, we watch like a lot of people. Oh, Castro is interesting. Otega away from Kentucky just because he plays at a big program and puts up a lot of numbers, I think is a player that, some people might be interested in, especially given, the fact that he has requisite size, he has a plus wingspan. Yeah, these are all good names. I'm surprised, this is a guy that Swipa has been pushing a lot. This is an athlete. You know, does he know how to play? Is he a good shooter? Can he handle the ball? No, none of those things. But is there an outside shot that this is your Lou Dort, Sion James of this draft? Sure. There's absolutely awesome, potential. This I really like. Ball. Emmanuel Sharp. For years now, I've been watching Emmanuel Sharp at Houston, and I just felt like this is a guy who's going to click at an NBA level. You already have, Jamal Shed here. There's a lot of familiarity. They work together in the summer a little bit. So Emmanuel Sharp is very interesting. Let me just pull up some of Emmanuel Sharp's numbers on my end here, just to give you a more. I by the way, there's no chance that Emmanuel Sharp is falling to 50. I just want to say that. Like, he interviews so well, and he projects so well at an NBA level. But if you're looking for, he has Bruce Brown. There's bits and elements of Bruce Brown plus Miles, like Deuce McBride, maybe a little bit of struggling for a comp. He's exceptionally strong, and we've seen that works at the NBA level. He can handle some point guard stuff. He doesn't have like a great handle, and he's definitely going to be more of an off-ball player at the NBA level. But he has like great mechanics. He's clutch as hell. He's hit some huge shots for them down the stretch. He's a pretty good spot up shooter. His overall half court playmaking is very decent. So, you know, uh, and his teammate. You said it. That's a very interesting one. Where in the draft would he? Okay. Falcon Storm saying, "Yo, what's good, Rob? Dude, I'm running on fumes here, but I do have an adult beverage. I'm not trying to give them free promo, but it's called the Tequila Sunrise. Okay, cool, man. Drinking tequila in the summer during the World Cup, dope. Um, Agents dictate the second round of the draft. To be fair, LA traded for 56 using cash makes you think an agent has forced their client there already. Correct. You are correct. This is the Oberchamschi at 57 all over again. Um, absolutely. Um, Onyenso is a player that, and again, there's some people in the Raptors draft space. You know, whether we're talking Twitter Spaces or whether we're talking cheap seats on Twitter, whether we're talking, Samson and the fellas over at, although if, this is no shade, but I went to go and watch their reaction to the Allen Graves pick over at Raptors Republic because I mean, a lot of people tuned into the Raptors Republic stream, and I couldn't find it for a minute, and I was like, "What's going on here? Did they not stream?" And then the video had been condensed down to like 30 minutes, allegedly, because someone on the stream had spent like 4 minutes trashing Allen Graves prior to the pick, and they were very like, um, so yeah, that's always tough, man. That's always tough. Like, you know what I mean? Like you go out and you say like, I hate Grady Dick, I hate Grady Dick, and then Grady Dick is picked at 13th. You're like, I'm never gonna get an interview with Grady Dick in my life. Do you think JB is gonna trade tonight? Honestly, if if Jalen Brown was going to get traded, I think it would have been last night. I don't have a great recollection of a ton of, second round, like second round big major blockbuster trades, right? Rob isn't really in the Raptors range nor do I want him, but who do you think picks Malik here? Um, Minnesota, Denver, Dallas, Milwaukee. Yeah, and I'm probably wrong, and he goes like 31 to Houston, but I doubt it. That's very interesting. There have been no picks yet, right? I'm not insane. Like this has nothing has happened yet. I don't need to hit refresh on this. This is going to automatically refresh. Okay. So in terms of best available, Henri Vesar, what is the appeal? Obviously, a wonderful, wonderful shooting stretch big man. I do want to give let's say, the sales pitch on Ugana Onyenso. So Onyenso. So we're talking like Christian Coloco sized player. We're talking legit 7-footer with a 7'5" wingspan, huge offensive rebounder, good rim protector, wonderful, finishing lobs and buckets around the rim, right? Big vertical lob threat. Now, the Toronto Raptors did hint at wanting a vertical lob threat, and then guess what? They went for a guy who's not a great vertical lob threat. So it's starting. Dope. So the first pick off the board in the second round is who are you? Is it Nate Biddle? Oh, he was a lot higher on my board too. I'm like, good job. Cool. That's smart, man. Is it Nate Biddle? Who are you guys watching in terms of like who's breaking who's breaking it tonight? Jake Fisher got nothing. Who is spoiling the second round, y'all? Well, if ESPN's IKD already knows that that if he knows who they picked, then someone's breaking it. Unless ESPN's IKD is finally working for ESPN. Mm. Jake Fisher, big timing the second round. Is he? Okay, great pick. Great pick on the first one. Bruce Thornton is exactly what the Houston Rockets needed at 31, and I'm glad I had a first round grade on Bruce, and I think this is great. Now, because I don't have as much anxiety about who the Raptors will pick, I'm actually going to try my best to make this a very succinct and very educational draft class in which I'm going to give you at least what I know about these players. Bruce Thornton is a fantastic shooter. 40% from three, 55% from the field, 43%. Grew up in Georgia. This is a guy who wasn't as highly recruited, um, but he was a he was the Gatorade Georgia Basketball Player of the Year in 2022. He's again, wonderful jump shooter, great shot creation. He has maybe a limited upside because of athleticism, and his perimeter defense is not exactly something to write home about necessarily, but he fights, he competes, right? And he has good strength for the position is what I would say. He's about 6'2" with a 6'5" wingspan. He's a guy who, quite frankly, can get his own shot up whenever he wants, you know, and yeah, like I think this is a very solid pick. Um, he shot beautifully from the corners. He's going to be in the corners a lot. This is a point guard with a off ball feel at times, right? Um, yeah. So shout outs to Bruce Thornton. I'm going to take him off my best players available list. He was number 2. Henri Sar continues to fall. So there you go. I've actually heard some people compare Bruce Thornton to the greatest Raptor of all time, Kyle Lowry. I don't necessarily see it, but I get what they're looking at. I don't know if he has the defensive instincts of a Kyle Lowry, but okay. Best available on Revesar, the stretch big from Estonia via North Carolina. We have Baba Miller, Cincinnati, Richie Saunders, BYU, Isaiah Evans, Duke, sharp shooter, and Malik Thomas, an absolute, bucket getter who in non-Darius Acuff minutes did a really interesting job. He's like Jalen Brunson-esque. That's not a bad comparison at all. I think the one thing I was noticing is after Jalen Brunson's run through the NBA Finals, Bruce Thornton was the one guy I was like, he is going to benefit the most from this. It's hard to say exactly. Fa, what's up, man?
I'm good, man. I was hoping that we trade up to pick Bruce Studding.
Okay, that would have been ambitious on the best day.
Yeah, it was
He was
ranked.
never going to fall this
It
far.
was ranked around number 37, 38, 39. So I was hoping that we trade up. So
Mm,
he can really shoot the ball.
yeah, he can. Do you see any Jalen Brunson in his game?
Um, more calorie.
Okay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
shout
I
outs to the Houston Rockets. They just drafted their point guard of the future. Is he gonna give Reed Shepard some run for his money? Look, they needed guard depth in the worst way.
They
This
needed they,
isn't
they needed a guard, right? After Van Vliet's injury, like it's so
but
bad.
Fred's healthy now.
That's debatable, right? Even when he was healthy before he's lost his speed. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Now that Bruce Starting has gone, I think for Raptors I want a big
You want a big?
Ugonna, yeah, Ugonna Onyensu of Belisopara.
Yeah. So I made the case for Nyensu. Make the case for Paro. What do you like about him?
Is it Opara is a love threat? I think yeah, he's a love threat and I think he can at least you can get the perimeter to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm. And
And he can
he's
block and he can block
do you think he'll ever be able to shoot it at all? I know he shot it very sparingly, but
the
there's been
Raptors are
attempts. There's been
uh,
attempts to you know, I think Felix might be ruled out for the Toronto Raptors because he has, in my opinion, like severe passing limitations, no creation to speak of, and he probably needs to bulk up quite a bit. But you're right. He
mhm.
does give you that lob threat, and he's a little bit, Nick Claxton ish. Like there's elements of
That's
that.
what I was gonna say. Yeah, we just
So
need size. We just need size at this point.
right. Um, But
Because
one,
I know everybody wants us to trade for my stunner, but I don't know. I don't want to give a first round for my stunner.
sure, yeah. But I think just as a good rebounder, so that's something that the Raptors love. He has great rim protection, and he's capable of switching his hips on the perimeter, which I like. He
Hmm.
was SEC all defensive team, 2 years at Ohio State, and then he went to Tennessee. So he was productive. He got better. He got better throughout the years. Pretty solid analytics profile, um, but not something that you would expect out of a senior. I'm gonna be honest. I don't. Richie Saunders at 31, 32. Good job. Yes. Richie Saunders. You'll have to be patient with Richie Saunders, but this guy is a knockdown shooter. Everyone who kept saying Christian Anderson.
The one with ACL tear, right?
Yeah.
Or doesn't? Initially, right before everybody started going back to school, he was ranked around Raptors peak,
Yeah. And I was hoping that that would
and I was
happen.
hoping, yeah, I was really hoping, but he came. He was the one that was helping AJ carry that BYU team before he got hurt.
Yeah. So he shot about 38%. Reminds me, Duncan
So where is he
Robinson.
going to? He's going to Memphis, right?
He's going to Memphis. Yes, this is a good pick for them. Not the greatest perimeter not the greatest perimeter defender. He's 25 years old already. So just want to throw that out there. He's with 24, 25. He's going to be 25. Okay, when he starts his NBA career. He's
So
old.
most
Okay?
people you're picking in second round, they're mostly seniors, right? These days.
Right. But there's seniors who are 21 going on 22, and then there's seniors who are 25. This is an old dude, okay? But what he does well is hard to teach. He has a great
Mhm.
offensive approach. He is insanely high motor. He's not a great defender by any means, but he tries. He competes, he runs hard, and his shooting is very special. Quick release, multiple counters. I loved watching him this year, and but when he got injured, life got very difficult for AJ DeBonsa. In fact, I would say my grade on AJ DeBonsa got worse after he got injured.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Another another guy that would be good. This German guy, Jack Kyle.
Jack Kyle, I didn't watch enough of him. So I mean, it's an international guy that has a lot of tantalizing potential, about 6'5", combo guard. And, I can certainly be sold one way or the other, but this is not a player that I watched enough games of. Is Luigi
What
gone? Luigi went back. Luigi went
what
to
of what about Miller?
I like him, man. I like Baba Miller a lot. I reached out to a couple of friends of mine, one of whom has actually played with Baba, and um, glowing reviews. Love Baba Miller, great guy, great practice guy. Scotty would love him, et cetera, et cetera.
Would you
Has
want him for
grown.
the Raptors?
Oh,
Or do you want it? Or do you want
I'd
it
be,
big?
dude. I would be, I'd be shocked out of my mind if Baba Miller's at 50. Someone should get fired. No, Baba is a really good basketball player.
We should try and trade off. We can find multiple for second round picks and move up. Add one pick to our pick 50 and add some cash. You gotta
Maybe.
be aggressive sometimes. Like,
But hey, like if this is an agency draft at this point, like I'm looking at where are the Raptors holes right now? The Raptors have a massive hole at the five, like the back five, right? So if there's a
mhm,
five, you can just call the agent right now and say, dude, we have an opening. We'll give you a camp deal. We'll give you a
mhm,
two-way. You compete
yeah,
for a spot. We'll waive one of these guards. I don't know if
we're gonna.
Uguna's gone.
No, I'm saying that you just try and talk to the agent. Like, I want this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can get this done.
But
Yeah.
that's what the cast is gonna likely do, right? That's why they bought the 56 pick.
Hmm.
This guy already has somebody clutch already has somebody that they're gonna push to 56.
Absolutely. I have a very difficult time gauging the value of bigs who dominate at an older level. Like today, I didn't like the Yaxel Landerberg pick, so when I was on the panel, I gave the Warriors like I think a D for picking Yaxel this high. Um, Even though I think he's a really good player, I can't.
I think the value of Yasser is already kind of quote unquote in his prime. and you're paying me a rookie deal at his prime per se, and it's gonna be productive for Warriors. They want to win now, right? They're not ready for the Warriors.
Sure.
They're not known to develop talent. Let's be honest. That's
Well,
just
that's
betting.
the
They're
thing. It's
into.
just like you know, if you're so bad at developing talent, then you're picking guys who are already
Hmm.
developed. So this is like going to a store and buying Kinder Surprise toys that have already been opened, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no
Mhm.
mystery here. You're paying exactly for what you're getting. I think with Yaxel, the context of someone that physically strong, dominating even at any collegiate level, to me, it's nonsense. Like he wasn't good
But
enough at
but the
24
good
years
thing is
old.
that it can shoot, right? So it's a utility player. So
Yeah.
playing with Draymond Green will help him too.
Okay. Isaiah Evans goes 33
So
to the Minnesota
Minnesota.
Timberwolves. This is a very Minnesota
That's
pick.
that's a
Uh,
very
sh-
good pick for them. Moving.
shout outs to Tim Conley. They just lost Dante DiVincenzo to an injury. This doesn't exactly replace it, but it's a very similar bet on massive
The,
shooting potential, right?
the movement shooter, really good movement shooter. The problem is Isaiah Thomas. I followed him. I really liked him initially. It was Mr. Basketball North Carolina for 2 years. I think he broke Chris Paul's record at one point, scored 64 points in a game. The problem with
Mhm.
him is that if his 3 point shot is not entering, not making a shot, then it is just lost defensively. Like not existent in the game, and it's a streaky shooter.
He doesn't do much else besides shoot, but
Yes,
honestly,
yeah,
like he
but
he's a
this year improved in
slightly
his
bigger.
game.
Am I wrong to say he's slightly bigger Jordan Hawkins?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So that's that. But here's the thing: his confidence. He's the most confident player in this draft.
yes.
Overconfident, delusional confidence. Like
Mm.
will pull from anywhere, anytime.
And
Covered, not
whether
covered, no
it's breaking
distribution.
it, yeah.
So you know, I really feel like the Raptors are missing that type of gunner, bro. The
I
Raptors.
like him. I like somewhere like him.
I
Imagine him
I wouldn't say
over Grady.
oh, easily. He does
Mm.
exactly what you want Grady to do, and he's not even a worse defender than Grady. His shot selection shit. He needs to put on weight. He has very little self creation to to speak of. But if he catches it,
He added some self creation this season though.
he did add some, yes, for sure. But over 65% of his shots came from behind the arc, which is awesome. He
Mhm.
shot pretty well around the rim, which is also promising. Really analytically sound, deep shots, as well.
And
Um,
he has a swag, the it factor.
oh, totally. If I have to bet, he's gonna work. Like
It's
I'm
gonna
positive.
work. It's
Yeah,
not. I know it's gonna work. I've seen it's gonna work. And
yeah,
Minnesota is the problem with Minnesota. The coach doesn't like playing rookies, so that's my. I could
right.
just put them at the end of the bench.
Um,
But
yeah, for
now that they've traded everybody, I think you have to play them.
totally. Hmm. How are you feeling a day after the Allen Graves pick? Feeling any better?
Ah, I wasn't feeling bad at all. No, like I, even though I wanted a point guard really, really bad for Toronto, but I think he's the right pick at that position. Like, and then watching all his tape and everything, also the
Mm,
analytics. I know a lot of people like, oh, he's a mid-major, but he played well against some really good team. Against Gonzaga, against Kentucky, against North Carolina, he played really well against some of those teams. And also the high IQ, right? I think he's a very dark pick. Really
right.
dark pick, like it values possession big time. Doesn't turn the ball over. And it was like 6-1 in, as he said it in one of the interview with Kevin O'Connor, that he was on 6-1 at the beginning of freshman in, freshman in high school. Then,
Mhm.
during the summer before sophomore year, he had this growth spurt from 6-1 to 6-7. So he's been that's why he has a lot. He has ball handling skills. His brother played for LSU as a point guard. The sister is a point guard. I think the dad was a coach or something like that. So you can tell he's going to succeed. And I think everybody like he even said it that he's from Louisiana, right, with good food. So I think when he was in high school, he was a little bit chubby. I want to
Yup.
use the word fat.
He was dude,
uh-huh.
he wasn't a little bit chubby, he was fat. He was a
Yeah,
fat kid.
I think that I'm trying to be politically correct as I should be. Or if I say fat,
You
my
don't have
kids
to be
will tell me
positive. You don't have to be
my I can
politically correct
my
here.
if
He
I
was
use if I
he
use fat, my kids always remind me, Dad, just say he's a big guy. Don't say fat.
oh
Oh,
my god.
Malik Thomas. Yeah, so, but he said it like that. For him to have a long time, the self-awareness is great, right? I know you were talking about it in one of the videos that you did earlier today, right? Where he already knows his weakness and what to work on, right? Same thing with talking about his body, his diet, and everything. So players like that, I think it's going to shock a lot of people, especially
Mhm.
some of the folks that were against the pick yesterday and him, Scotty, and CMB together. Whoosh, then if you add Jacoby, it's gonna be nightmare defensively. And
Absolutely.
when I started looking at things, I watched a lot of his video last night. Obviously, I'm tired now because I didn't sleep early. It reminds me a lot of OG, the passing lane and things like that, the steals and everything. I think he's gonna be great for Toronto.
Yeah, and I do want to correct one thing. Somebody corrected me. They sent me a correction. They said, "Hey, like your guest said that he played really worse against top level competition. According to some numbers, his analytics were actually better against top level competition." Um, shooting upside here with Malik Thomas going off the board at 34. I like this. I wanted to talk about Nick Martinelli, from Northwestern, but I'll talk momentarily about Malik Thomas going to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Cleveland Cavaliers get more self creation and shooting. And I think there's
I
really
think it. I think
there's
it's
two.
going to the wrong team. Cleveland, they don't play most of their rookies. They just like sit on the bench. Like it's so.
I mean, so developed behind one of the best guard duos in NBA history, right? Like he'll learn a lot, but he's a really good shooter, like a really good shooter. I think there's two versions of Malik Thomas that you could evaluate. Version number one is the minutes he played with Darius Acuff, where he was playing off the ball, right? And
Mhm.
then there's the minutes without Darius Acuff, which I think were
Yeah,
like the real, because
I think if Jerry Kirkhoff wasn't on that team, right, he would have been a first round pick.
yeah, I agree. So, he's a better defender, way better defender than Darius Acuff. That's not saying much. I'm a better defender than
Mhm.
Darius Acuff. You're a better defender. Everyone in the world is a better defender than Darius Acuff.
Jerry Kirkhoff is a con, yeah,
Yeah.
on the defensive side.
But everyone's talking, yesterday about Alan Graves 4.9% steal percentage against high major competition. Malik Thomas posted a 2.8 steal percentage. So, he needs to add a lot of strength. Like he is definitely a guy who needs to hit the weight room. It's probably for his best that he's not going to play right away. But the long-term potential is there. He's not a great athlete. He's not a poor athlete. I think he's functional. He doesn't have a lot of bend. He doesn't have like great vert. He doesn't finish around the rim as well. He doesn't get all the way to the he doesn't get his he's not a all the way player. Like he doesn't go
It,
right from the top to
sometimes
the deep,
it,
but he's
it's
an in
because this
between
same.
guy.
Because what is great, sometimes a lot of people look at the combine and look at all the numbers on the combine and think that's how you draft a player. Like, I guess that's why Jokic fell to 41 or 42, right?
Oh, for sure.
Look at, look, I wouldn't have been a top, look at, on that, if you talk about that, look, I won't be a lottery pick. So sometimes you gotta look at the whole package, the IQ, be in the right position, understand the game and things like that. This guy wasn't athletic at all, Magasol, but he knows how to really move his feet and be in the right position at the right time.
Right. Completely agree with you.
I'm looking at
Um,
Malik Thomas. He shot 41% from three. Okay. That's a really
yeah,
good
and
pick.
and on insanely high volume, like
Hmm
41 or 42% three-point attempt rate. So, you know, bits and pieces of Jacoby Walter. by the way.
Yeah,
You know, little
yeah.
bit of Jacoby Walter here, a little bit of maybe KCP, Malik Beasley. Like he has a real chance to be a shooter at the NBA
But
level, but he doesn't he
but
doesn't he doesn't fly above the rim, and I think that's what if Malik was an above the rim finisher, Malik Thomas goes top 20, easy.
yeah. Mhm. What about this guy, Emmanuel Shah?
Love him, love him. I like guards with big strength. I like guards who can shoot. I like guards who get better. I like guards who defend, and I like guards who come up in the clutch. And that's just everything about Emmanuel Sharp. And high character guy. Is he gonna be a star? Nope. But maybe one guy in the whole second round is gonna be a star. Maybe, maybe like and that's a maybe because this second round is pretty weak. Um, but that's a
So Trevor,
crapshoot. I'm not looking for
Trevor,
stars.
I think they're gonna be 1 or 2 stars.
Trevon Brazil goes to the Denver Nuggets. Good pick,
I
Denver.
like. I was hoping that we get this pick too. Like this would stretch big.
This is great.
Mhm.
He had multiple opportunities to come out over the years. He didn't. He kept going back to school, and honestly, the result remains the same. Um,
I think the
as
the good news for him is that he can learn from Aaron Gordon.
He can. He absolutely can. And this is a guy who grew a lot as an above the break shooter. Like this part of his game started to expand. He's automatic around the rim. He's an absolute pogo stick. The finishing, he's a great shot blocker, a little bit undersized for the four, but has like requisite wingspan to make up for it. And this is a guy who's ready to play after hitting the weight room a little bit, and he's gotten stronger. He's really gotten stronger. Someone said Jackson Hayes type of pick. Honestly, I don't necessarily agree with Jackson Hayes. I actually think his closest NBA comparison is Aaron Gordon, like a skinny Aaron Gordon. He's
Hmm.
not a great ball handler. He's not a great playmaker, but he don't need to be a great playmaker when you're playing with Jamal Murray um, and Nikola Jokic. Like you just need to finish. And he has speed. Like he has speed in the open
Hmm.
court, and Jokic loves to push and transition. This is a very smart pick. This is
What
a
do you think
very
of
smart pick by the Denver Nuggets front office.
what take it away?
I mentioned it earlier. This hyper like crazy athlete who doesn't know how to play basketball very well. I, I
That's
don't
some
I, I
good
don't I
thing.
don't see the ball skills. I don't see the passing. I don't see the handle. But great motor, great like defensive. Like he's a little bit Sion Jamesy, little bit of Jameer Watkins last year, where there's gaps in skill, and I'm not really sure, but there's tantalizing athleticism. And honestly, I like wings like that when they can do one thing.
I think Jaden Bradley from Arizona.
What do I think of him?
Mhm.
Um, I am lukewarm. I think,
Do you want a guard or you want a big man?
bro, I am a protege of the Bobby Webster school of thought. I want the best
That's,
player available, but as it pertains to Jaden Bradley, I'd be thrilled if the Raptors got Jaden Bradley at
do you think Miller?
no.
You just went.
Oh, this is me dying on the inside. I mean, the Clippers have had a hell of a draft. First of all, Keaton
Who did they
Vaughner,
draft?
now Baba Miller.
Oh
Shout
wow,
outs.
they're going to. Okay, it's going to
Is this
Clippers. Okay.
confirmed? This is confirmed. Baba Miller. Hold on. I'm going to check Jay Fisher here. Yeah, there we go. Great pick, Clippers. Y'all really know how to draft suddenly. I wonder who's running your draft room. Okay. Trevon Brazil gone. Baba Miller gone. Are you shocked that Henri Visar is still on the board? What the hell?
It's gonna be
Is
there at 50, and Toronto will pass on him again like they did last year.
Henri
Like
Visar?
serious. You know how we do stupid things like last year too.
You're talking about with Sacramento big man?
Yeah.
Maxime Reno, the
Yeah,
man
no,
who
yeah.
haunts my dreams. Every sometimes like, your
That,
Raptors
I
really need
was
to stretch big around Scotty Barnes. I was like, I know, I
yeah,
know, I know.
yeah,
Shut up. Shut
I
up.
was I was so pissed off. Now that this guy is still there, right? I don't think it would be too expensive to trade off to get Henry Versa.
I'm gonna the Raptors are drafting a Zion Nelson. I got insider information. I'm gonna star this, and you're gonna apologize when you're wrong. I'm not even
As
saying you're
as
wrong.
as I will.
Zion Nelson.
We have I've heard that a lot from the Toronto like teams before.
Hey man.
Is he a good big? 6'10". I need size, man.
So
Are we
funny.
are we allergic to people that are 7 feet?
I mean, look, he's a Dembona
What are
2.0.
we
Okay.
what are Rafael Castro?
Insane motor, great, defensive, and he can dude, he's explosive. He's twitchy. I
Mhm.
like him actually a lot. If the Raptors pick him at 50, you will hear zero complaints from me. Deep pull. I don't have him on my board because I didn't get to watch him, but I've heard some good things. I've heard some very good things. Um, uh, Okan saying Adem Bona mentioned turkey flag. Shout outs to you guys, man. I watched the World Cup and Turkey got eliminated, and I was very sad. My ex girlfriend hit me up like 12 seconds later to say like, oh, I'm so sad. She's Turkish. Um,
Yeah, but Canada is already qualified for the second round, right?
I think so, but they just lost today, right?
They lost. I think they already qualified. They ended up as second in the group.
Dude, did you just watch the finish of the Morocco match?
Now I was watching the
It was
Brazil match.
it was 2-2, and then Morocco came back 4-2 very quickly. Um, Shout outs to them.
It shouldn't be 2-2 against Haiti.
Say it again.
It shouldn't be 2-2 against Haiti. Haiti shouldn't score against Morocco.
Mm. How do you feel about Nick Martinelli from Northwestern? Have you watched him?
No, I have not.
Interesting. Feels like a Raptorsy guy. Again, not a center, not a center. He's an under the rim finishing big wing, but a big wing, and has some
I think I'll find it.
interesting.
I'll find a center in the draft. Maybe trade up to get a center. Then I'll promise a guard because you can get a really, this draft is filled up with guards. That's why I wasn't mad that we didn't draft a guard 19. The guys I wanted were gone, right? Before.
Hmm.
And I like Phylon though.
Yeah,
But then I feel you can get a guard in the second round. Some of these seniors that are really, really good. So maybe
right.
I'll try and promise a guard to go undrafted, then find a center. Is this guy
Yeah,
coming back, Rishonche?
we don't know. We do not know. Um, Emmanuel Sharp remains on the board. Henri Vesar remains on the board. Tyler Bilodeau remains on the board. Um,
Rafael Castro remains on the board.
Castro's good. Do you have any PTSD of drafting a guy named Rafael/Raphael?
No,
Okay. Well, you
I
weren't
don't
around
care.
for Rafael Rougeau.
I was,
You got over it? Okay,
yeah,
first of all, I don't
that was
no.
a bad pick. That was pick for
No,
that. I,
I used to really like Brazil. I will never go to Brazil. No. No, no. Not after Rafa and Bruno, bro. That Brazil broke my heart as a Raptor fan. No.
but I think after then, right? Then that be that's why I'm not mad at picking the best player available. Do
Mhm.
you think that Alan Graves was the best player available yesterday?
Yes.
I think
Yes,
so too.
he was the best player available. He was not the best fit available. He was not the best positional need available. But in terms of like as a player, like you can make a case. Okay, no, as a player, Josh Jefferson and LeBaron Fallon might be better players right now. but was he like the best prospect with the greatest upside, greatest floor, greatest character, all the green flags? Yes. I think they made the right pick.
I think Raptors fans complain, oh, do this, do that, right? Do you want to pick for fit or you want to pick the best player available? The same thing happened to CMB last year. Everybody was like, oh, it won't fit with Scotty Barnes. But at this point in time, we just need talents in the door. You will figure the rest out later.
Mm. Okan saying, Rob, do you know that Turkey is converting Malachi Flynn, a Turkish national team player, in case Shane Larkin gets injured or retires? See, now I just feel bad for Turkey, period. I mean, wow, that sucks. Sorry, I'm just not a Malachi Flynn guy. I'm sorry. I'm not like I would rather start myself at point guard for Turkey than give Malachi Flynn run.
So,
I think
that's the problem with short point guys, right? They are not
yeah.
shifty, can shoot, not aggressive.
Ryan Conwell goes to OKC. How do you feel?
I don't really know him, to be honest.
Okay. Um yeah, I mean this is a very, let's call it like an OKC type of pick, right? Plus wingspan, strong guard out of Louisville, good jump shooter. Seems like jump shooting, passing, and off ball scoring are massively on the minds of the OKC Thunder if they keep him. Not a great play finisher inside, not a lot of on ball creation, um, but a good defender. Like there's elements of good defense. They're capable, not good, but capable defender.
You
Lights
know
up
one
three
player I
pointers.
want on undrafted to sign Donovan Atwell for Texas Tech. He can shoot the ball.
Mm,
This guy was a point guy, and that since I watched a lot of their games, he can really, really shoot the ball. Shot like 46% from three.
yeah, yeah. I mean, how do you feel about guys who go through like 3, 4 programs? OKC traded it. Cool. Yeah.
They don't need that player.
I mean, I'm a little bit surprised to see him go this high. I would assume like Emmanuel Sharp is the most OKC player left on the board, followed by
But
maybe,
they have so many guys, right?
yeah. I mean, they do.
It's going to Miami.
He's going to Miami.
Can he
Yeah.
shoot? Can he shoot?
k- are you talking about Ryan Conwell?
Yeah.
Eh. He's had like he's had a couple of really good years of shooting the basketball for sure.
I'm
Like yeah,
because
he's a
Giannis and Bam, right?
yeah, like I mean, this is a guy who's probably going to factor in as like the 13th, 14th guy on your board, but it's like okay, like I'm not mad at it. It's cool.
It's
It's
shot
cool.
35%, but one thing that I know can really really train players how to shoot. Miami and Boston Celtics, they're really good at developing shooters.
He shot 36% on his catch and shoots. He was 57-ish% at the rim. Not great off the dribble at all. But he's had progression over the last 4 years for sure. It's been hard to track him because he's been at a different program every single year. If I recall correctly, he's transferred like 3 times. So I remember watching him at South Florida. Yeah, like I don't. He doesn't scream, "Oh, that's an awesome player. I wish the Raptors had him." But he has role player upside, and next to Giannis, I can see it working for sure. Yeah.
All the players left, right? They're all seniors.
Yeah.
They're all seniors.
Lucky
Look at
King said, "Wow, Miami traded 41 and cash for 37. Bobby, please. You want to move up 4 pick? You want to move up 4 places? Okay.
yeah, just move, just do
I mean,
cash.
you know what? None of us know who OKC is going to pick. We've probably never heard of the player. Most of us have never watched the player. It's just going to be a deep cut from nowhere. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Martinelli is the guy that OKC picks. Um,
I think they're gonna trade the pick again. I think they're eventually gonna get a
Ah, okay.
draft.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
gonna get because they have so many players, right? They're trying to trade that they are deal.
Yeah. You see, Nvidia dipped under $200 today. Interesting.
I'll send you. I just sent you.
Sahaj said the Pacers are getting this pick. It's getting traded again. So Pacers are trading for the number 38 pick. It'll be Braden Smith. Okay. Another player that we're pretty high on going off the board here. Looks like my board kind of makes sense. Okay, cool, Rob. Good job. My board is usually not very good. I want to put that out there. I haven't been the
All right,
greatest.
all right. I sent you a WhatsApp message.
A WhatsApp message. Okay. Okay. Yup. As an early investor in Nvidia, for those interested in tech stocks, should pay attention to AMD. Well, AMD is shockingly high right now. I mean, not relative to where you estimate it would go, but it's an expensive stock for sure. It's like $500 a share for AMD right now. Oh my god. Okay. Trade the pick and fire Bobby. Poor Scotty. Dude, I want to throw this out
Bob,
there. If
Bobby just got extended, so everybody should just move on for now.
yeah. Oh, I'm not calling the top on AMD, by the way, just so we're clear. AG2K26. I'm not calling it. I'm just saying it's a stock that's gone up considerably.
Is Braden
Uh,
Smith going to Chicago?
yeah. He is going to.
Chicago.
Oh, it's going to Chicago. Okay.
And that small point guy. But his assist is something else.
Mm. Footy Clips said just invest in Canadian banks. I'm up 60% in a year, dude. I used to hold TD stock, and I am the dumbest asshole in the world that sold TD stock. That was dumb. It's done very well. I also own Dollarama stock, which was a very smart investment in 2014, 2015. It's good. It's a good stock to buy and hold and just sit on. Decent dividend as well. Yeah, man. I'm trying to take care of my money right now. I'm 38. Trying to like
Chicago is trading Braden Smith to Indiana.
My goodness. Yeah. So Pacers are trading for the 38th pick. Sources say it'll be Braden Smith. Yes, this was broken
Yeah.
2 minutes ago by Jake Fisher, or 3 minutes ago by Jake Fisher.
They like the small point guys.
Yeah. D Mitch said Dollarama is never dying. Maybe. I would never say never when it comes to any retail stock. I mean, yeah, I could say like Walmart is too big to fail, but it's not too big to dip. Um, and the broader market has ways to go down too. So, yeah. Someone's Footy Club said, "Yeah, I'm in BMO and TD. Those are pretty good dividend stocks too, right?" So, yeah. Uh, man, I didn't know we got so many investors. That's cool. Should we have an investors club? Should we have an investors club for Pensare Basketball? That'd be really cool. We could be the new young millionaires. That would be great. Um, yeah. No, I mean, look, man, like in 2008 to 2010, 12, I was very, very money minded because my mom had just passed away, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have no protection, no safety net. I'm a child. I'm an orphan at 19 years old. I got to do something with my life." I also became really ambitious for a while, but then I did pretty well for myself, and I ended up pretty much semi-retiring for like 15 years. Like making films, running a film festival. Like every time it tells like I am not looking forward to going on dates where I have to tell people what I know. I have to tell girls like what I do. And she'd be like, I don't think you sound real. So you run a basketball podcast and a film festival and you direct movies and you know like what is this? You're not a banker, you're not a lawyer, you're not a doctor. What are you doing with your life? You running podcasts? But yeah, I'm trying to get back into investing over the last 3-4 months. Dr. Dre, I want to get into trading. Well, what would be interesting to have a channel devoted to like live trading. Wouldn't that be crazy? Have a literal like live trading desk and make real time trades. Um, yeah. King Jabby, what's your net worth, bro? You got to buy me dinner before you ask me about my net worth. Nope. Um, Knicks in the second apron. Not sure about that. Only Orlando and Toronto are drafting with their own picks tonight. Everything else is a traded pick. Really? I don't think that's true. Is it? It might be actually. Actually, that's weirdly enough. That's true. It's previously traded. It's not currently traded, but yes, every other pick has been traded at least once. Rob, how do you feel about that Reeves contract? Yikes. When you have a superstar player, you need to surround that superstar player with Jack Cahill went off the board to the New York Knicks at 39. I feel like this is a draft and stash for them.
He's not gonna play.
I mean, I think he might go overseas. He might stay overseas
Yeah,
because
maybe that's a plan.
like they're an NBA champion. They don't have a roster spot necessarily for him unless they're absolutely like in love with him. Um, I yeah. I mean, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's still some good players on the board right now. There's still some good players that I believe in on the board right now. Man, how is this happening? I very much expected by 38 that there would be nobody left that I liked, but I'm not even mad at Trey Kaufman Wren. But yeah,
Boston is looking for a big man, so I expect to go. Maybe we'll go now. One of the bigs will go here.
mm,
They're trying to trade Brown for Ivan Mobley.
yeah. In terms of Kyle, like I mean, I apologize if I'm breaking the pronunciation a little bit. Um, he's exceptional at getting to the basket, getting skinny. Shot making flashes are very good. He's decent off the. His handle is very impressive for a 6'5" guy. Am I expecting something like he's a comparable prospect to Ben Seraph last year for me, right? He's not a great playmaker for others at this point. He's not overly efficient. He doesn't finish strong through contact. He needs to put on a lot of weight. But man, like he has real talent, but it's a flash in the pan talent. And he plays for Alba Berlin, and you know this is a guy who played, I think U19 with Hannes Steinbach and Christian Andersen, and he averaged like 11 points with that group. So I mean, he's shouts to Germany, like having three players drafted and all of them were teammates on the same team. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Dylan Mitchell is going 40th according to Loki King. Is that correct? Dylan
That's
Mitchell
correct.
at
Yeah,
40.
it's correct.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think we're doing a much better job of actually talking about these players this year. Sorry, tonight, because last night I regret that I didn't talk more about the players who were being drafted, which I think would have been more of a good draft show format. Instead, I was just sitting there like, "What's the what?" Okay, Bannisters is still on the board. Bannisters is still
I
on the
think
board.
yesterday we had players that were hoping drops. So it was like all the anticipation.
Yeah, but as a quote unquote professional podcaster, I should have done better, especially because so many people tuned in. I wanted to. It, yeah, maybe I'm overthinking it. It was a fun time. It was cool.
But
Um,
you had one of the most views, right? So
Hey
you
man,
you can have it up.
12,000 views. We were the most watched Raptors
Ex-
show
e-
as far as I know.
exactly.
Okay,
So
Dylan Mitchell. What's the selling point for the St. John's forward? Watched quite a bit of him. Great defender,
defensive guy.
incredible athlete. We're talking like 38-inch vertical, 6'11" wingspan, great shuttle run time. He's a good playmaker. Now, he's not a good shooter at all. He barely shot it from three. He missed every corner three he took this past year. I think he went 0 for 8, 0 for 9. It's
I don't
all
think
downhill
Boston need
attack.
any more shooting. They need to get to the ring.
Okay, yeah. So this guy reminds me a little bit of a bet that they made last year in Josh Minot. A little bit of that. He's taller. He's 6'8" with a 6'10", 6'11" wingspan. Excellent athlete. You know, um, And ironically, he was in the Jason Tatum elite camp in 2023. So maybe this is a Jason Tatum was like, yo, go get Dylan Mitchell. He's freaking awesome. Um, but yeah, like this type of athleticism is a type of shit that you want to put next to Scotty Barnes, if I'm being honest. Like this is a guy who can run, jump, dunk, and defend and play make for others. So if he could shoot, he'd be a first round grade for me. He can't shoot, and he's 22 years old, and he hasn't figured out how to shoot at this point. So he's not a first round grade for me. But if they can teach him how to shoot, this is a better bet on upside than Ron Harper Jr. Right? So, shout outs to them. The Boston Celtics continue to cook. It's a good pick. It's a good pick. It's definitely there's something there with Dylan Mitchell. Hang on, let me pull him off my board. Okay, so the Raptors actually
Otega away
takeaway is gone to the Oklahoma City
to
Thunder.
Miami, to Miami, to Miami.
It's traded to OKC, dude.
Okay,
Yeah. So
oh that's true.
okay. Um, there's your Lou Dort replacement.
Is
Um,
is an OKC like player?
yeah, that's the best way to describe him. Somebody asked me the other day, like, "How do you feel about Otega?" Otega away, and ironically, I said that's a very OKC like player, which made me think that the Raptors might be interested in him at 50 as well. Um, insane athlete, just power athlete, right? And it's funny because of who we picked yesterday.
He attacked the rim with force.
Oh god, yeah, and he's productive and he's a really good defender, right? Um, if there's a downside, there's nothing else. He's not a phenomenal free throw shooter. He's not a great shooter at all. He doesn't have a handle. He
Now
doesn't create.
ESPN is taking a break. This is the time that
Yeah,
somebody's gonna drive the next Nikola Jokic.
oh boy, Taco Bell commercial again. He actually does remind me a little bit of like more functionally fluid Lou Dort. Um, he has bits and pieces of Sion James meets Lou Dort. And so, like the fact that the OKC Thunder are interested, color me surprised. This is such an OKC pick. So yeah. Um, Pen read chat. What? Justin. The Detroit Pistons are trading Isaiah Stewart to the Memphis Grizzlies for 3 future second round picks. Oh man. Damn it. Bobby Webster. Okay. That sucks. I really wanted him.
But we don't have the cap right to bring anybody. That you gotta
Give
give
them
something
RJ
else.
Barrett. Okay. Well, good job, Memphis. They clear out the Jaren Jackson salary, get cap space, and pick up Ty Jerome. Probably going to trade John Morant at some point this offseason and pick up Beef Stew for 3 second round picks.
Would you trade Jamorant for quickly 1-on-1?
No. Nope. Nope. I would not. No. Would you?
If they had Second round pick, I'll do it.
I'm sorry. This is the craziest comment you've ever made in your life. Can you imagine Bobby Webster sitting on the phone talking to Detroit and being like, look, sorry, talking to Memphis, being like, look, man, we really want this John Morant, Emmanuel quickly swap, but I need that second round pick, bro. I need I need 1 second. Be like,
Nobody wants him, right? So you gotta be opportunistic.
bro, they would be like, here, take 25 seconds. What are you doing? 25 second round picks. You have every second round pick for the rest of your fucking life to take this,
I
like
think I think
bam,
I
bam,
think
bam, 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 motherfucker off my
Ja,
hands.
Ja, you can help him rebuild his career in Toronto, maybe.
Eater saying Ja is better than IQ. At what?
Yeah.
At what? Aura farming? Correct. Selling tickets? Yes. Dunking the basketball? Yes. What? Better passer? Yes. Now, let's talk defense. Let's talk shooting. Let's talk processing. Let's talk off ball movement. Let's talk screening. Let's talk gap help. Dude, like, I get the talent, but holy shit, man. Like, you need shooting around Scotty Barnes. Now, I understand you also need dribble creation around Scotty Barnes, but I'm not really trying to put the ball in Ja Morant's hands and being like, oh, hey. But, the connection with Ja, with the Raptors, is that Darko has coached him. And if Darko likes him, you have an inside track to Ja Morant that maybe other teams don't. But if there's one player on that Memphis Grizzlies team that I really like, it is Santi Aldama. Beyond that, it's
Maybe Satya Adama, Ja Morant for Quickly and Grady. I don't know if the salary matters.
I do that in a heartbeat because I like Santi Aldama that much. So trade and wave. The Toronto Raptors have traded for Ja Morant. The Toronto Raptors have waived Ja Morant.
But you're gonna pay him like how much? He's still owed like 60, 70 million, right?
Yeah, I think he's got like 2 years left. I don't remember offhand, but someone can correct me. I like Ty Jerome, man. Ty Jerome's cool, but I mean, it depends. Like for what, how much. Jacoby Gillespie goes 42. Okay, cool. Andre
Just
Vasar might actually fall to 50. If he does, oh my god, and the Raptors are gonna pass on him. You're right. The Raptors are really gonna pass on Andre Vasar twice. He might have something wrong with his medicals. Maybe because this is weird. Henry, why is
San
Henry
Antonio,
falling this far? He has a promise.
San
That's
Antonio, don't they have too many guys?
sure. Yeah, you can make that case, but I could also argue they don't exactly need to bring back McLaughlin. Like, no offense, like he's fine, but like Steph Castle is a wing, in my opinion, but he masquerades as a guard. Cool. Dylan Harper is a guard. De'Aaron Fox should probably have been traded yesterday. I'm cool with it, man. Okay, thoughts on Jacoby Gillespie from Tennessee? Did you watch him?
I like him. I like him.
What do you like? What do you like? I'm gonna take him off my board here. Jacoby Gillespie off my board. Okay. So now, I mean, okay, let's
He
do
carried
this.
the team when this guy was short in the tournament. He has a squad.
I mean, we're just getting a whole bunch of we're getting a whole bunch of there's a lot of guards in the second round.
There are a lot of bigs left too. I think if we
There are a
don't
ton
get
of
a
bigs
big,
left for sure, but there's like a lot of guards that have gone off the board already. In terms of Jacoby Gillespie, like what do I like? Defensively disruptive, great connector, good classic, table setter, organizes the offense, has quick twitch athleticism. He forces he gets paint touches, he creates openings for his teammates, he has good shot creation instincts. He's very undersized. He's 6'1". I don't remember his wingspan off top of my head, but it's nothing to write home about. 6'3" ish.
six four, 6'4", 6'4",
6'3", 6'4".
it's six
Um,
four.
there's a version of this that's very like Cole Anthony esque. There's elements of that. maybe a little bit of Jordan McLaughlin, but without the awesome shooting. His shooting efficiency wasn't the greatest. And again, there's size concerns. This is a good bet. This is a good bet on a third string point guard who could become something more. He shot a ton of threes. He just didn't make them. Wasn't a great 3-point shooter this past year. So, if that 3-point shooting comes around to an average 36%, 37% 3-point shooter, he might make it as a backup guard. But McFarland said Gillespie equals Shed. No, I liked Jamal Shed more, but I understand the comparison. Yes. Is Tyler the next pick off the board for Brooklyn? Could be. Jones Garcia better back up. Okay. I mean, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks left until the Toronto Raptors. Okay. How do we feel about the 7 best players on my board right now? Henri Vesar, Tyler, Emmanuel Sharp, Otega away is gone. Oops, he's still on my board here. I need to pull him off. This is why ESPN isn't like a one-man mom and pop shop where one guy is like literally upgrading his graphics. Zion Nelson still on the board. Toby
Who
Lawal
is
still on the board.
who is Tyler Bilodeau?
Who is he?
He just went to Brooklyn. The senior power forward from UCLA.
He's cool, man. Let
They
me pull up.
stretch big.
Yeah, like he's got game. Hang on. Pull up my notes on him. I think I wrote down some. Watched like 4 games of his. Where are my notes?
Oh, he can really shoot the ball. Shot 46% from 3. Wow.
For
For the
sure.
46% on 4.5 attempts. That's not bad.
Yeah, so he shot 46% from 3, 87% from the line, solid 6'8", big wingspan, awesome role player, right? Um
With this, I
just
replace Mahmoud.
yeah, not current Mamu, maybe Seton Hall Mamu, but like he doesn't have necessarily the dribble pass shoot package. But he's a really good rebounder, insane rebounder, broad shouldered. Reminds me a little bit of like maybe Ryan Anderson, really great shooter. Again, like awesome shooter. If you were gonna bet on this at 50, I would be giving you like standing ovation grades, right? Uh
Henry Visser is still there. Interesting.
yeah. So this was the number 2 player on my board, and he is gone. And clearly Henri Vesar has either a promise or I have drastically misjudged the rank. Now, it's interesting though.
Maybe who is his agent? If it's flush, then it's going to Lakers.
Mm, don't be so sure, but that would be a very interesting pickup for the Lakers for sure. So, yeah, I mean, he was pretty on my board here. I like him. I like him a lot. There's a lot to appreciate here. What is he? He's 22, turning 23 really soon, but he's a prototypical role player who does everything well. Great in the half court, great as a spot up shooter, has a little bit of post up ability, but he's not going to be asked to do that at UCLA. His entire shot chart is red. The whole thing is red. He does not miss. There's a very good chance he's better than Alex Caravan, and Alex Caravan went 29th. So, he's got great motor. So Nate Biddle went off the board, right? Did someone say that? Nate Biddle did go off the board, right? Am I insane? Or is Nate Biddle still on the board? No, someone lied initially. So Nate is still on the board. Okay, good. Okay, cool. So Vesar, Sharp, Uzan, Onyenso, Jaden Bradley, Keyshawn Hall, Ryan Conwell, Rafael Castro, and Kadir Copeland. So, I mean, and Zion Nelson. I mean, look, I'm not gonna have a hot take about the Raptors pick at 50. Okay, I'll just be honest. Like, I'm not gonna have
I'm
like
not, I'm not,
this is crazy. Unless, of course, I love the guy. In which case, I'm gonna be like, yes.
I think this year I
Um,
don't really care. Pick anybody you want.
yeah. Santonio said Vasar really can't move laterally. Eh, I mean, better than average, but not good enough to do it at the NBA level. No, and but he's just such a good shooter, man. At 7 feet tall, you get this good a shooter who could rebound the fuck out of the basketball. He's still 22 years old. Like, you take it. You take it. It's a swing. Um, ESPN's Zacchaeus, I think it's Onion. So one could hope.
So,
Plot.
Memphis, all the move back that they moved yesterday, they used all the picks to get Isaiah Stewart.
Marwin said plot twist. The Vaystar promises from us. Dude, one can hope. One can hope. Honor Vaysar falls 20 picks just to be a Toronto Raptor at pick 50 and get a two-way contract. Yeah, sure. Um, hey man, the Raptors have an opening at backup center. So
But
if on
this falls on the clock again.
yes, sir. Okay, this is a Henri Vaysar landing spot. This is
I
also
think
a
they
Nate
they need
Gilbo.
another big man.
Another big man, three rookie bigs. Dare they? Felix Lacpara. We the North said Vaysar is a decent mover on the court. Yeah, laterally speaking, he's a little bit weak, but you know, north south, he's fine.
Is this guy much better than him apart from age and Steinberg?
Who?
And Steinberg, the German guy, he's a lot better than Vesa.
He's so much better than Vaysar. I hate when people compare those two.
I'm just asking. I'm just,
Sorry, it's triggering for me because they're both white
I
guys.
didn't I didn't really watch Vesa even though I was in North Carolina. I watched Steinberg though.
Oh, Steinbach's awesome, man. I actually think Golden State should have picked him instead of Yaxel. That might be a hot take, but that's how I feel.
So
Okay, by the way, do you
Malik
remember?
Brown just went to San Antonio.
Nice. Do you remember the three picks that Detroit traded to
I,
Memphis
I,
last
think
night
I
to move
think I
up?
think that's a good
Those are the same picks that went back to Detroit for Isaiah Stewart.
yeah.
That has to be illegal or something, right? You can't just trade the same picks back. It's not NBA 2K. I mean, you legitimately can, but like it's weird. It is a little bit weird, but
So
okay.
Sacramento Kings next. Are they gonna pick Henry Visa? I don't think so. They got the big last year.
They can have both. You can't have too many bigs who can shoot.
They can play defense
Um,
that much.
so Malik Brown goes to the San Antonio
Spurs.
Spurs.
It's
Okay,
a good pick. It's a good pick for them. It's a
good
really
role
good pick.
player, great defender, insane
Hmm.
intangibles, questionable shooter, very positionally versatile. He can guard at least three positions. Not much of a shooter, but efficient around the rim. Um, he's great in the pick and roll as the roll man. And yeah, someone says Swiper's having a rough day yet again. Owe was his guy, and he went to the Thunder. Yeah, but he's not having a rough day because Trevon Brazil is my guy, and he went to the Denver Nuggets. So there you go. Emmanuel Sharp going to the Kings at 46. Man, you're breaking my heart. I know it's going to happen. Is 46, 47, 48 is going to be like the best players left, and the Raptors are going to be stuck at 50, and I'm going to be sitting here crying. Shit. Emmanuel
Yeah,
Sharp going to the Kings.
if we really want,
Ah,
if we have a player that we want, we can easily move up like 2 or 3 spots. Like
it takes guts and
this probably
glory to
is
do this, man. It takes guts. They don't have guts or glory. Okay. So
one thing I know about the Raptors, right? If you're thinking they're gonna do a trade in the draft, just you're wasting your time.
yeah, there's a bit of a
It's barely ever happened with these folks.
I don't think it's ever happened. I mean, they've traded into get picks, but
Or they talk about it, but it never happened.
Loki King
Later
said, "Why?
lunatic.
Why would we get Emmanuel when we have Elijah still? They're very different players." I'm jealous of the Spurs core. They're building the perfect team around Wemby, but your name is Santonio. Why? I thought you were a Spurs fan. I'm sorry. You can understand why, right? I'm pretty sure his name is S. Antonio, but I've just been calling him Santonio the entire time. We got cheap seats calling in. Cheap seats. What is up, man? People were hoping. People were hoping that you would call in, man.
Nice, man. Yeah, no, pleasure. Pleasure's all mine, pal.
Okay, someone said, is Emmanuel Sharp related to Dayron Sharp? No, he is not.
No.
Henri Vesar is falling. How do you feel about this?
No, so something I've been talking to people about all day when I did my live earlier is the second round of the NBA draft is a lot more similar to the MLB draft than it is the first round of the NBA draft. So we've seen a lot of times in the past, because there's different contract statuses in the second round, certain teams are able to give guaranteed deals, certain teams are able to give non-guaranteed or two ways. A lot of teams in this second round are offering two-way contracts. Players would rather choose their own destination, so agents often will manufacture slides to get to guaranteed contracts, right?
Absolutely.
The Lakers have shown a ton of interest, is the report. They traded
Vesar?
back into the draft at 56.
Yep.
I wonder if
Vesar
he is. I wonder if he's worked out something to slide intentionally, kind of like what we saw with Jamal Shed a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
Trace Jackson Davis did this with the Warriors. He was supposed to go 33, 34. He ends up going all the way to 57 to the Warriors to get the four-year deal. Well, which the Raptors are still paying, by the way, but yeah.
One of the big ones is Austin Reeves.
Yep.
He manufactured his way to UDFA. He said,
so did Fred.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like Jamal Shed, like I said, moved down to 45, worked it out with the Toronto Raptors for a guarantee. There's lots of guys that have done this, right? And that's why the second round is a lot closer to the MLB draft, because like MLB draft is about like your slot bonuses. So you'll have guys who are a top 5 pick, all of a sudden they go 17, and you're like, what? It's because one team's willing to spend their entire bonus pool on that player, right? So that's a big factor. So for guys like Vesar, who's sliding right now.
I'm telling you what's going to happen. You're the Lakers.
So with the rest of the players, who do you want for
hang on. I'm the Raptors. You're the Lakers. Okay. I'm picking Henri Vesar. I'm telling you, fuck yourself.
Trading the right.
Yes, I agree.
Fuck you. Fuck your contract. Fuck your agency. I'm kidding. Obviously, agency favors are a big deal. It's an unwritten rule. If a guy is pushing his way. But maybe if the Raptors can anticipate this is happening.
Oh, this guy just got drafted, Felix Okpara.
Good. Yeah, Okpara is a good player. You know, there's some production stuff that was confusing. Like he wasn't overly productive, but man, like just tool for tool, skill for skill. There's the tenacity to how he plays. I love it. I love the Emmanuel Sharp pick. I think Emmanuel Sharp is awesome. Yeah, there's that,
right?
Yeah, there's been a few picks that I really like, and then there's a few picks. Tyler Bilodeau going to the Brooklyn Nets, that kills me. Jordi Fernandez is such like an awesome structure coach who like loves 94-foot players and tenacity and just like grind it out style and pick up high. And they just pick every guy that doesn't want to do that. They just pick every like skill guy that doesn't want to play on the backside of the court. So yeah, Jordy, man, you know, he's a good soldier, I think. Yeah, he's a good soldier because that team is just like every guy is just like, I want the basketball and like kind of fuck the back end, you know. So the Bilodeau pick is fun because like Bilodeau is such a fun offensive player. But
would you look at I really like Tyler Bilodeau a lot. I do. He does not miss, which I like in my players. So just for the record,
yeah.
How do you feel about Nate Biddle at 50?
I'm not a Biddle guy.
Okay.
It just
is it a little bit is a little bit too Solomon Alabi for you? Like,
dude, he's so overwhelmingly skinny. Like he gets bumped off his spot so aggressively. Like his selling feature is like he plays really hard.
Yep.
But like he and like people
And
say
he
like,
has a
oh
7'6" wingspan.
yeah, no, 100%. And like people are like, well, but he'll shoot it long term, and it's like, but does he shoot it? No. And can he play through contact? No.
Honestly, he does. He shoots it exceptionally well at the top. So he was 16 for 44, which is good for 34% from above the break.
34% from the college line is not great though. Like it's a projectable skill, but people also aren't defending him.
Yeah, but like at 7 feet tall, right? And okay, again, he's 23 years old. Okay, but
Yeah.
shit, like we just saw Richie Saunders and he's 25. He's a good passer, good shot blocker, and he has potential as a shooter. If you develop this, is it not Jay Huff, Sandro Mamukelashvili type? Like this is the idea, right? He can block the shit out of the basketball. He's a 7'6" wingspan. Personally, I like it. If the Raptors go with this at 50, I'm not mad at it. I don't think the Raptors are going to go this way, but
They're
if
better
they do,
bigs.
Castro.
Well, Castro's fun, but like Onyensu is significantly better than either.
I know you like him so much.
It's not just about me liking him. There's projectable shooting there. He's a willing shooter. He is one of the best vertical defenders in college basketball. So he doesn't just play looking for block shots. He plays structured, and he plays long and makes guys play through his chest and keeps his line. And he plays a super mature game on the offensive end. He's got good enough hands. Like I really like, and he's proven himself being able to battle against top guys and
Right.
make and play so well against certain top guys that have now generated questions about can they finish at the rim, Cam Boozer, right? Like Onyensu really started that narrative mid-season with the 2 appearances against Boozer, blocking him 16 times in 2 games. You know, like Onyensu is, like I said, to me, it's Nimi Keita, right? Like that's the comp for Onyensu is Nimi Keita, right? Same kind of projectability.
Rebounding.
It's good. It's fine. He's a more of a positional rebounder, but part of that is also scheme. But he's big, he's long, he's physical, and he likes physicality. It is the biggest thing that I like about him. When a guy tries to play through his chest, it gets him going, and he also doesn't foul, right? When he's blocking shots, he doesn't foul. He stays vertical. He makes you play through his chest and makes you play through his length, holds his line, doesn't gamble, and still puts up massive shot block numbers. So that's why I really like that kid. And the fact that, like I said, the percentages weren't great on shooting the 3, but the form is good. The natural touch is good. And he's a willing 3-point shooter. I think there's projectability to that skill. Whether or not he actually gets it, that's a completely different question. But that's a skill set I really, really like, because again, in the second round, I'm trying to identify 1 or 2 skills that you can go, hey, at the NBA level, if nothing else, he can do that and he can do that. And in the case of Onyensu, I know that he can defend and drop, and I know that he can play tall with disruption without fouling. And those are awesome skills to have.
You like to fit next to Scotty Barnes?
I do because I believe in the potential of space.
And so quick question. What about Isaiah Nelson and Keyshawn Hall? Those are 2 of the players remaining that Raptors worked at that was reported
Isaiah
publicly.
Nelson is so much fun. Like Isaiah Nelson's so much fun. Like he reminds me a little bit of Keon Clark, where it's just like he's explosive, and like sometimes you're like, oh, dude, you think you're a guard? Like he just plays above himself a little bit. But man, he is not physically strong yet, but he plays like he is, right? There's just some dog to him that I just really like. Isaiah Nelson.
What about Keyshawn Hall?
Keyshawn Hall's a good player. I'm lower on Keyshawn Hall than a lot, but I do like the idea of the versatility. You know, I think he could be a versatile player at the NBA level. You know, so how's
the defense?
It's disruptive. I don't think it's solid yet. Right, like he's out of position a lot, but it's fun. I think sometimes his thing is he makes aggressive mistakes, and I'd rather a guy make aggressive mistakes than passive mistakes.
Tyler Nickel goes to New York Knicks.
That's a fun one too. That's a shooter. You know, that's a real deal shooter, and he's another guy that he's got some attitude to him. Like he's going to fit that New York vibe a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We have
really good connective passer. You know, he's smart.
Yeah,
not the greatest athlete though.
No, not the greatest athlete. I think he plays hard in a way that like would be like Sam Merrill-esque, where like Merrill's not a good defender, but Merrill busts his ass on the defensive end and makes it competent in matchups.
Yeah.
I think Nickel can do some of those same things on the defensive side, and on the offensive side, he is unconscious, like
how do
to
you
a
feel
fault
about
sometimes.
how do you feel about Corey Kispert as a comp for him?
I think Nickel plays with a lot more like FU to his game than Kispert does. I think sometimes Kispert kind of fades to the background too much for me. Like I wish Kispert was more aggressive with his shot. There are times where Kispert's looking to be more of a distributor than take the shots that are designed for him. But like I like Kispert.
Yeah, I do too.
So from the players left, I think Dallas is next, then Denver, then Raptors. From the players remaining, what do you want for the Raptors?
Well, I'd want one of the two bigs. I'd want Vesar or I'd want Onyensu. If we're gonna go
Milo Suzan.
So Milo Suzan is somebody that I really like because, like I say, if you squint, you can see Andrew Nembhard, and I think he's a gamer. Like he comes from a good program. Like he's been a leader in that program. I like that. I also really, really, really like Jaden Bradley. He's strong. He's mature. He can play at all three levels, good distributor, jack of all trades kind of guard. But I wonder if the Toronto Raptors are going to do something different with what they're kind of emphasizing right now about like connective skills.
So Dallas just got Toby Awaka.
Nope, Toby Lawal.
Did they go Lawal?
Oh, Toby Lawal. Sorry, Toby Lawal. Sorry.
It's funny. I was literally just about to say, I wonder if the Raptors take a shot
messed
on Lawal.
up on the Toby Awaka shit, man. Okay, first of all, so Chilltown Hoops on Player's Choice, which he messed up when he was trying to pick Koa Pete. He picked Toby Awaka. But we were joking about it for days, right? We were joking about it today, yesterday, and now we got FA over here, completely different human being. North of Chilltown, Chilltown in Florida, Effie in a whole fucking different state, and now he sees Toby Lawal, and he's like Toby Awaka. And the joke about this is Toby Awaka not getting drafted. So,
no,
but he'd be an undrafted guy for somebody.
It's funny, cool. as I was going through that little diatribe that I was on, I was gonna say it would be interesting if the Toronto Raptors would take Toby Lawal because of the potential of being a connective guy and this rotational defender and the crazy athleticism and everything else. But I guess that thought is dead now.
we got one pick left, right? So we can get Ugonna or Vesar. So.
Yeah, so like my top four for this pick would be Vesar and Yensu. I don't really care which one. Jaden Bradley would be right there in that conversation. Ischenko, I think, would be somebody that would be really interesting for this team because like really versatile guy, can play a bunch, like 2 through 4, depending on matchup, can shoot it a bit, can attack downhill. He plays nasty. He kind of reminds me of Ivan Karchenkov a little bit, like with the tenacity and kind of the ball movement skills. So that one's fun. But
does he have the toughness of Ivan Drago?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's got some shit to his game. You know what I mean? And then
if he dies,
I'm a huge fan of Aaron Nkrumah.
What about this guy from NC State, Kadi Copeland?
Are there any? Hold on. Are there any Purdue Boilermakers that you might consider for the Raptors at 50?
Are you talking about a certain center?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Biddle and Clough were two guys that just like they weren't in my top 75 when I had my initial 75. I've never I like Oscar Clough as a college player.
What about Nick Martinelli?
Martinelli's fun. I don't see how he fits. Like there's a lot of RJ Barrett redundancy there, like in terms of how he gets his game off. So it's not my kind of guy.
And by the way, in terms of the Purdue Boilermaker that I was talking about Fletcher Lawyer. Not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, again, not on my 75. Okay. Kadir Copeland would be another one that I just love. He is the plus version of Delano Banton, essentially. So
you're right. They said Rivisa has a promise. So they're guiding him to the promise.
Yeah, I put that on Twitter about an hour ago where I said when the Lakers traded back into the draft, I was like, you know what? I wonder if there's a promise there because the report about them trying to get him at 37 came up. And it would be interesting. That'd be an awesome thing for the Lakers. Because I just think he's a really good complementary player. So we'll kind of see what goes on there, but we'll see what Denver does here, because Denver needs some assistance. They need to fill out the backside of their roster big time, and they need guys that can play today, because their cap situation is not ideal. Like, I wonder if this is, a guard spot. I wonder if this could be like a Uzan or a Bradley kind of spot. Kylan Boswell would be fun there.
Kadir Copeland deal.
Yeah, Kadir Copeland's awesome. Like, I really like him. I had him ranked pretty high. Like, I had him ranked 40 on my draft board, and I thought about having Copeland higher. Like, I thought really, really hard about having Copeland ahead of like several other guards in that area, because it's just fun. He needs to shoot the three more. Like, he shot it at a good percentage.
Just at 40%, and he's a good point guard.
It looks like all your options will be there. Bryce Hopkins just went to the Nuggets.
Oh, I don't love that for them. Like, it's not even like I don't think he's a good player. Like, I think he's a good player, but I just think there was better. They've really struggled in the late first and early second. The last couple, the shots that they're taking are interesting.
I don't think a single player that wasn't in my top 60 has been picked yet. That's insane, actually.
Hopkins might be the first one for me.
Yeah, Hopkins was 58, 57-ish for me.
Yeah, the Raptors have all the centers available, so Bobby, don't F this up this year.
Hey, dude, I thought Onyenso was gone at 40. I thought Uzan was gone at 38. I thought Visar was gone at 31. All those players are still available.
So what do you want now for 50 if you're picking a center?
Onyenso or Visar would be the two.
Visar, okay, so me personally, I'm good with Visar. I'm good with Onyenso. I'm good with Keyshawn Hall. Jaden Bradley still on the board?
Yeah, yes. Jaron Pierre Jr. is on the board too, who's a guy that I really love as well. Like, there's only a couple picks that would piss me off. Like, Nick Boyd would piss me off like a reasonable amount. I'm not like a Lipsy guy, so like that I wouldn't love. Darian Williams seems like a guy they would draft based off of the Graves pick. I'm not the biggest believer in Darian Williams, despite him being ranked really high for some people. So there's a few, or like Peter Suter or something like that.
It's a good perimeter defender, great, good shooter. But yeah, like, I don't think you need another undersized forward. And he also doesn't have that plus wingspan. If we're talking about Darian Williams, I think this is more like a guy you call in the undrafted heap.
I think so too. I'm seeing some people like credible places, like big websites essentially have him ranked at like 32, 33, 34. And I'm like, I don't see it. Right. Like, and like I said, I like the player. I think he's a dope college player. I just don't know how it transfers to the NBA level with his mix of like size and athleticism and kind of the shooting, which is, he shoots it really well when he's not defended. Okay, when he's defended, not so much.
Yeah, Raps comp 10, you're up, bro. Because I starred your fucking comment here. Raptors drafting Isaiah Nelson. I got insider information. Okay, so I got
that would be super fun. I would have no problem with that. That's an upside swing. So like, I'd be down with that. There's a good amount of upside players that, and like I said, like the potential like downside is really low, but
can he shoot the three?
He shoots it.
Okay, that's different.
You know what I mean? he thinks he shoots the three.
Precious Achiuwa shoots the three, right?
And that's yeah. So but the other thing too is like, I know he's not a super young player because he has played, but like developmentally, he's still a little bit young.
22.
Yeah. But
he
like,
has like crazy wingspan, 7'3" wingspan, 6'9". This is a total Raptor Z guy.
and
there's
late to the
there's
game.
shooting. He shot 14% from three last year. This is not. But he took them.
And that's what I'm saying. Like he shoots them,
And
I don't know if we should, but
there's touch indicators. He shot 73% from the line. And again, like this is another Adem Bana type of player. Like there's bits and pieces of that. He's pretty good around the rim.
the thing that I really like about him is
Motor.
he has the ability to take it in transition and go. Like that's the thing that I really, really enjoy is that he will grab and go on a rebound and he will put the ball on the floor and go and actually like make some things happen from time to time. So I'm a really, like I said, is it intelligent aggression all the time? No. But like, is he confident in his skill set? Does he make things happen? And does he pressure defense? He does. And I think he works his ass off on the defensive end, even though it's not always productive.
The pick is in for the Toronto Raptors.
Let's see if I'll have my heart broken again. Nick Boyd.
Don't say it. No, don't speak it into existence. Just don't speak it. Say Henri Vesar and we win the draft.
Onyensu.
You prefer Onyensu over Vesar?
No, but I don't think Vesar. Like I said, I'm very, very confident with the thing that I said an hour ago about the Lakers. It just seems that way. The reporting is kind of guiding it that way. So, and shit, with his skill set, if he has the chance to go to Los Angeles where they're void of floor spacing centers, did they go Jaden Bradley?
Allegedly.
Or is somebody just hyping up Jaden Bradley?
Yeah, it's Jaden Bradley.
Okay, I'm totally fine with that. He fits, like I said, he was one of the four guys that I talked about that, like, if they grabbed him, I'd be happy with it. He's got enough physical size to be able to play the one or the two with guys. Like, you can put him next to Shed, right? Like, he's big, he's strong, like athletic enough. I think he's so well-rounded as a guard. I really like his overall game. And like I said, that physical size element allows you to play him with so many different matchups.
Are we allergic to 7-footers?
Fuck 7-footers. Okay, look. Good playmaker, great shot creator, 6'3". I think he grew a lot. Okay. A few things about, Jaden Bradley. He's from New York. So he's from Rochester, New York. Shout outs to him. He moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout outs to you, FA. Averaged 23 points and six rebounds and 6 assists in North Carolina. He was the Gatorade National Player of the Year. This is high school, by the way. Committed to Alabama out of high school, eventually transferred to Arizona after his freshman season. He was a McDonald's All-American. This is a guy who's been on draft radars for years, okay? And
he can shoot the ball 40% from three. So.
Yeah.
And I mean he's like he has let me just look at this.
And it's on low volume though.
Yeah, it is fairly low volume. But he's I think the Raptors have invested in feel, intelligence, and playmaking in this draft in a significant way, and this extends that idea significantly. The best comparison for him to me would be Colin Gillespie from Phoenix. Someone said another small guard. Wow, this is judging. I think this is judgmental. No offense. Like, I say this as someone who's 5'11", not cheap seats, who is 6'25". As someone who's 5'11", I feel very triggered by you judging this guy as too small.
He has a 6'6" and a quarter wingspan. So
So let's put this in the context. Jaden Bradley, Chucky Hepburn, Elijah Martin. How do you rank those three?
As prospects?
If they were all in the same draft in the same
so Hepburn would have been the bottom because like that's just like I said, like like Hepburn as a defensive prospect is a level above either of these guys. But the offensive stuff outside the passing is really limited, right? Martin and Bradley would have been basically in identical tiers. Like I would have had those guys side by side. So I would probably have Jaden Bradley slightly higher just because of the like I don't like doing the intangible stuff, but there is something to guys that rise to big moments. And that Arizona team that was my, like I said, I'm a Duke fan. Arizona was my favorite watch in college basketball this year. You've got Braden Burries, you've got Koa Pete, you've got Krivos, and you've got friggin', Karchenkov, and you've got Del Orso, and you have all these awesome players that are all great offensive guys in their own way. Big moments happen for that team. Jaden Bradley was the guy with the ball in his hands, and Jaden Bradley hit big shot after big shot after big shot all season. And in big games, he did everything, whether it was diving from the floor, getting the loose ball, getting a big rebound, drawing a charge. So he's a guy that, like, he rises to the moment, and he was the leader of that team, right?
Bingo.
Like, the undisputed. So I love this kid.
Okay, let's
So in your life earlier,
hang on,
you
man.
mentioned that.
Let's hear from the latest Toronto Raptors. Give me 1 sec here.
Train with each other, so everybody's familiar with each other's game. We're excited. We've been working out for 2 or 3 weeks, so we're just excited to play 5-on-5 and compete against other people.
Okay. Did they divide them up? I mean, did you get a chance to some of the guys you worked out with on the team today that you're playing with?
Yeah, actually, Dalen Swain, he's in WME with me. Slob, so, a wing or a big. So, I love seeing my teammates succeed, and I feel like that gets the crowd going and everybody going.
What about playing in the Big 12, such a competitive conference, compared to the most for the NBA?
For sure. Big 12 is a gauntlet, and you probably see a lot of players that played in the Big 12, whether they're competing here now or some of them are top 5, top 10 projected picks, and so just to play against them and get the battle with them is it's been an honor.
And lastly, which of your Arizona teammates are you most excited to play against?
That's a great question. I'm gonna say I got a lot. You put me on the spot. I'm gonna go a couple. I'm gonna go Caleb Love, Keyshawn, Carter Bryant. Some of those guys.
You thinking all of them up?
Yeah, that's a plan.
Thank you,
yes, sir.
Hey, man, what's a skill you think's underrated or overlooked of yours that people haven't noticed?
I just feel like my speed, my ability to get by my defender and make the right play. Get downhill, get to the free throw line, something like that.
And what do you think you bring to a team day one?
Just energy, a different look. I feel like I'm a true point guard. Love to get my teammates involved. I'd rather get assists, get points, pushing in transition, guard, just doing all the little details.
And who's filming you watching, and what are you trying to take from them?
For sure. I'm a big Chris Paul guy. Watch a lot of his film, play with his AAU organization. Love, Darren Fox and his speed and, other guards of that nature. And, yes, sir.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, great interview.
I love him. I love the guy.
Immediately.
I love the peak.
Oh, that was an easy sell. 2 minutes of talking, of listening to him talk, and you love him. No,
I love the peak. I watch Arizona Borai. I know he plays really well. Well, I love the peak.
I had a friend. I have a friend who played with him last year at Arizona. He spoke glowingly of the guy. Said he was great. Just great teammate, one of his favorite teammates, one of his 2 favorite teammates the entire time. So I'm getting that the intel on him must have been insanely solid. Yeah. So how do you grade this pick? They pass on Onyenso. They obviously can't pick Henri Vesar because of
what we think is there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. I know Sheepstick, you mentioned yesterday or today to your live that there are a lot of good guys outside the lottery, outside the first round, right? So it makes sense for Raptors not to even pick a guard in the first round. How do you rank him among the late guys that the Raptors pass?
So I had him ranked in the exact same tier as, let me just bring this up. So I had him ranked in the same tier as like Ryan Conwell, who I'm super high on. I had him ranked in the same tier as Bruce Thornton, who I absolutely love Bruce Thornton. I had Jaden Bradley ranked above Malik Thomas and Kadir Copeland and Braden Smith and guys like Kylan Boswell. Like, I think this is a really good guard. Like, this is one of the guys that I gave a guaranteed contract grade to. So he wasn't quite a first rounder for me, but he was right on that periphery, and he was a guaranteed contract guy. I think this is, like, genuinely, I think this is just a truly winning player. What he did in Arizona with that young of a roster, and such a talented roster, but they were young.
Yep.
And he was the pulse. He was the guy that kept them calm when things started to slide in big games. He was the guy grabbing jerseys and bringing guys into huddles and setting the tone and taking that next possession upon himself to really just be that metronome of consistency for this lineup. When he had to take big shots, he did. I legitimately couldn't be happier with this. This is one of my guys in this draft, right? So I put out a list of 7 players that were just like guys that I loved in this draft class, and Jaden Bradley was one of the 7. So this was a pick where I just think this is a guy who's going to play in the league for 15 years.
Henri Vesar is going to the Atlanta Hawks at 52. The pick has been traded.
Okay, did get traded? Oh, interesting.
Okay, so I just want to say this out here. Onsi Saleh is the second best general manager outside of Sam Presti and right ahead of Brad Stevens right now. I cannot stop marveling at how accurate he is. You know, like holy crap, dude! Like he does not miss.
He's unwavering in the idea of talent accumulation, right? Like he's so confident. When he's so confident in knowing what he wants, and I don't agree with every pick, but like he's so consistent in terms of like what is the thing that we want, and he goes out and he gets that thing unapologetically. So like I love the shit out of it. So it's a great pick. Obviously I'm super high on this. This is essentially 30 picks, like 30 pick value for me from Big Board. I think this player is really, really good. I think that, like I said, for all the defensive questions, I think he plays with tenacity. I think he's
Zach Ricochet right now.
Legit. I think right now he is better than, I don't know, a third of the backup centers in basketball day one, right? Like because of the floor spacing. And this kid plays hard. You know what I mean? Like for all the stuff where people are like, he's a bit skinny and he can't defend. Like, man, the motor is awesome. He tries to rip the rim off every time he goes up, which is awesome, especially for like a guy who's not like the most athletic dude. 43% from 3 on solid volume, and continually got better as a 3-point shooter as it went on, and continually took harder shot selection as he needed to, would come down with big rebounds at big moments. You know, like he plays tough. I think he's one of the better big man passers in this draft class as well. Like some of the passing reads he made from the nail this year were awesome. Finding backdoor cuts. Like he's just very calm on the offensive side. He has a very calming kind of vibe. And again, for me to give love to a UNC player, and I've had to do it multiple times in this draft, which kills me.
I just think it's a kick in the ass right now to watch, back-to-back drafts where a perfectly good spacing big who's 7 feet tall was on the board, and we go with a guard both times. Now I'm of the mindset. Look, Jaden Bradley, to me, I like him a lot more than I like the 2 guards that the Raptors got last year. I had a top 40 grade on Jaden Bradley.
Yeah,
I had Elijah Martin like 57 to 65 last year. I had Chucky Hepburn in my 70s last year. So look, maybe I missed it. Fucked up.
I had Chucky at 54 and I had Elijah Martin at 38. So I actually had Elijah Martin and Jaden Bradley essentially ranked.
But you had Maxime Reynaud ahead of both, right?
I had Max Reynaud at 32. Yeah,
I had him at 16.
So my issue with Reynaud is that, like, and you've heard me say this a few times, but I'll continue to say it. I think he can help your fantasy team. I think there are major questions about how much he's going to affect winning, because the defense is an issue. Like the defense is an issue, and I don't think he's a good enough offensive player to be a starting 5.
He doesn't need to be a starting 5.
But this is what I'm saying is like
he's a special lineups guy.
And that's what it is.
Okay, perfect. But like a big who's talented, who's 7 feet tall and productive and can rebound the basketball, coming off the bench for 10 minutes just to provide a change of pace is a good idea to me. Like that's value.
And that's why I had him as fringe, like I said, the tier for me last year was 24 to like 38, 39, somewhere in there.
Sure.
So he's in that tier of like late first rounder to early second rounder. He was going to be a productive player. Like I never questioned the productivity, but I viewed him as a bench guy. And so that later in the first, early in the second was where I kind of find that as a palatable thing. He played better his rookie year than I expected him to, without question. Now, some of that is an opportunity thing. You know, Sabonis goes out. He's put into those minutes. We saw how other guys performed. Like I said, March basketball gets silly sometimes. But like Reynaud was really good. You know, he was really, really good.
Ugo Yensu is going to the Knicks.
That's an awesome pick for them. That is not. So when they had the pick at 39, I put on Twitter, I was like, I would love to see them draft him as a Mitch Rob replacement if they don't get the opportunity to bring in big Mitchell Robinson back. The fact that they just got him at 53 is, I think that's a massive steal. He's a guy that can play minutes right away.
I think a lot of these picks are agent pushing them to some teams, right? So you really can't blame like teams like Raptors for not picking them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We'll and like I said, if we see Onyensu sign a guaranteed contract after this is done, then it's like, okay, that was worked, right? Like that's why.
Right.
So anytime you see a guy slide, if he's picked at 45, 48, 53, 60, and he gets a guaranteed deal, it's a manufactured slide, right? So, but we'll see. Because like, you know, maybe he just slid, but like I said, like I love this kid. He's not a perfect prospect by any means, but like just what he provides, like I think he's great.
What do you think of Rafael Castro?
Rafael Castro is fun, you know, like he's fun. I don't. He's another guy where I think he's going to put up numbers in the opportunities because he plays with, like he plays hard, you know, the athleticism and I think sometimes like the defense can be really rough, like it's disruptive, but like he has no idea where to be on the defensive side of the court. Like he blows rotations just constantly. He over aggressive. Like think about like Chris Boucher's closeouts, right? Where like Chris Boucher will block a shot because he's closing out hard, but if he doesn't block the shot, he's getting blown by 6 times a game. So it's kind of like the same way with Castro, where he plays with a requisite amount of energy and he plays super hard and he's disruptive. The nuts and bolts aren't great. And you know, like I think there's a defensive IQ kind of, you know, problem there, but he's a fun player. And I think he can be productive. You know, he's a third big on if he develops fully.
I just want to talk about Jaden Bradley for a second. So I just want to pull up his stats here.
So before you go there, Envisa is going to the Clippers.
Oh, wow. Cool. Okay. Well, it seems like Onsi doesn't bat 100. In terms of the box plus minus, he went from 2.3 to 5.9 to 6.4 to 9.0. His final 3 seasons were a little bit up and down at Arizona as a shooter. He was shot 46.4%. Again, all of this is on pretty low volume.
Yeah.
32% and then nearly 40% from 3. This is an encouraging sign. The other encouraging sign is that all 3 seasons at Arizona, he was north of 80% from the free throw line. This is good. We have a competitive steal rate at north of 2.5 all 3 years at Arizona.
In an ultra conservative defensive system.
That is an important part of this for sure. The free throw rate is not bad at all. I mean, this is a guy who gets to the line 8.8 times per 100 possessions. It's always been a strength
Quick
of his.
interruption, please. Ugonna is going to Detroit.
Oh, is he going to Detroit?
Yeah.
Okay, so they just
replaced. I love that so much, especially like I said, they like just traded away Isaiah Stewart, right? So
great idea for them. Yep.
Yeah.
Good pick up Detroit, and a conference rival gets a lot stronger.
And they continue to have just a awesome draft.
You use Draft Baller?
Oh yeah. Right? That's
okay.
Yeah, I have it uploaded on the page right now.
Yeah, so Jaden Bradley, this is Jaden Bradley's Draft Baller profile. He is 22.8 years old on draft night. We have a 6'6.3". Wow, we're getting very accurate here.
Yeah, a quarter
with an 8 with a
1 digit.
So, yeah, so a 8-foot standing reach, 205. His standing vertical was 30.5 inches, max vert 36. So not necessarily explosive, but pretty fast. Hand length was 8 inches. Hand width is 9.3. Pretty big for a point guard, if I'm not being honest. If I'm being honest here, anything that stands out as like a wow. Okay, so like the example of wow would be 4.9% steal rate for Allen Graves. Is there any wow factor here, like the growth, the 3-point?
The wow factor for me, and
Mhm.
like beyond the stats, because like overall he was just a very consistent player. Go up to shot chart, and then scroll down to the second visual shot chart. So that, it's up in the top right hand corner. Yeah. Now scroll down to the other one. That's the wow. Not an elite athlete, but man, he just continually gets downhill and pressures the rim. Like he has a knack for just getting to his spot. He's crafty. He does just a really, really awesome job. And like I said, he's not like an elite rim finisher, but he is a paint collapse and kick out guy. And there is so many clips and so many times in games where you see him collapse paint, create that initial collapse, and then kick out to Burries for an open three, kick out to Del Orso for an open three, throw a lob to Krivos. He's just one of those guys that has a really innate feel for getting 2 feet in the paint, even if it's not all the way deep in the paint, right? So he's not a rim finisher. Like that's not his game. But like he continually gets 2 feet in the paint and then gives himself the opportunity, right? Because he's just smart with his kickouts, 2.5 to 1 turnover rate. He's just, like I said, just slick. I love the defense.
He's a better offensive player than the 2 guards they picked last year, but he's a worse defender than both.
Worse defender than
Chucky Hepburn and Elijah Martin.
Yeah, both those guys were like, that's
defensive
the selling feature, right? Was like the intensity and just the ultra disruption on D.
Right.
Jaden Bradley's I'll say this, at point of attack, he's a better defender than Elijah Martin. As an off-ball defender, he's not. Like Elijah Martin's like a really awesome off-ball defender for a smaller guy, good on-ball defender. Chucky Hepburn's a menace on ball, right? So I think that Jaden Bradley is just a really good point of attack guy who's physically strong at point of attack. Like he really makes guys battle him, short area quickness is good too. Like he has guys have a hard time getting lines against him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ooh, I don't like that pick. Lachey Jones going to Golden State, it looks like.
First guy not on my board at all.
I would have had him somewhere probably in the 100 to 105 range if I would have went that high.
Quick correction. Vesar actually went to Atlanta.
Henri Vesar went to where?
Atlanta. It was Clippers that traded him to Atlanta.
Okay, we knew that.
Yeah. I think I said the other way, so I was wrong.
Oh, you said he's going back to the Clippers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. So, man, give me that Onsi Saleh hype back, okay? Because you had me doubting my king. You had me doubting the king of general managers, the upcoming king. If Sam Presti ever steps down from the kingship, Martinelli to the Clippers.
That's fun. That's fun.
I like him. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't help it. I like him. Okay.
I don't. So like I'll say this. I had Martinelli. So where are we at? We're at pick 55.
Wait, that's Houston. So Nick, laugh. How are you hearing Martinelli to the Clippers? Is that a promise, or are you jumping the gun a little bit? Hang on, let me just confirm this. Okay.
Yeah, it's saying it's traded to Houston. The Knicks pick is traded to Houston.
Okay, so it'll be Martinelli out of Northwestern for Los Angeles. Okay, cool.
So I had Martinelli at 58. So this is like a totally reasonable spot for him to go. Like all the guys from 42 to 60 are the same tier for me. So like this is a totally fine spot for him. He's a super fun downhill player, right?
I had him at 67.
You had Martinelli at 67?
And I'm the one sitting here like I like him. I got warmer on him like yesterday.
He's a guy that like the highlight reels. I love the highlight reels. The game film I don't love as much. But like when he's good, he's really, really good. And like I said, it's fun. He's a fun basketball player to watch. How it works, I think the dream for him is like, can he turn into Guy Santos? Right? Like if he can turn into Guy Santos.
Guy low-key is one of my favorite role players in the league.
Yeah. Now Martinelli needs to take a massive step up defensively, but how Guy Santos is just like, he's not the best defender, but man, he's so physical on the defensive side, and like he asserts dominance on offensive players. I think Martinelli can do similar things and do similar things on the offensive side, but it's just going to take a leap, you know. But like, I like the player. I like the player in that spot.
Would you have taken Kadir Copeland over Jaden Bradley?
I wouldn't have, but I love Kadir Copeland. So he's ranked 3 spots below Bradley on my board, but it's in a slightly separate tier. So Kadir Copeland is the first player in my 2-way contract tier.
So you're giving Jaden Bradley like a 4-year guarantee?
I would throw him a guarantee immediately. Now, can the Raptors throw him a guarantee? That's the one difficulty, but the Raptors have used manufacturer falls before, so I would not be shocked if this was a guy they identified, and that's one of the reasons why he got to 50.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I'm also excited to see right now, there's where are we at? 56 right now?
Mm-hmm.
There are still awesome players available. Like there are super fun guys available. Like the UDFA market is going to be very, very interesting, especially if you want like defensive guards. There are some there are still like high level offensive pop guys. Like Jaron Pierre Jr. is an absolute firecracker on offense. You know, like I just wonderfully tenacious, you know. Yeah, and like there's a lot because like
you know, the Shaquille O'Neal of Jay Huffs is still available as well.
if he gets to the point where he's as good as Jay Huff, like I will bow down because like
you don't see it.
I don't see it. And here's the funny part too. My older son is like an obsessed Oregon fan. Like he loves Oregon, like Oregon football, Oregon basketball. He's all about it. So he's been trying to. He's 15.
Okay.
And he's been trying to sell me on Nate Biddle for 3 months.
You should listen to your kids, bro. You should listen to your kids. Stop being an arrogant father and just listen to your kids. You'd be like, no, I'm the draft expert. Fuck you, kid.
No, dude, this kid knows his shit. You know what I mean? This kid knows his shit. He's good. We have a slightly different vibe about what we're into. But man, we have this is why
he's into white Shaquille O'Neal, and you are just sitting here hating on this shit. Like it's not gonna.
I'll say this: we can have Biddle and Clough in a death match, and whoever survives can get a partially guaranteed or like an Exhibit 10 deal. We'll give him an Exhibit 10.
Yeah. Nikki Almeida said Bobby hates 7-footers. Dude, the thing is that 7-footers are usually really bad at basketball, and the ones that are really good at basketball usually don't last in the second round. So, you know, you're. I know everybody wants to bet on a 7-footer in the second round, but it very, very rarely ever works out. Also, Ischenko went for 56th to the Lakers. This was the reason they moved into the draft.
Love it.
Good pick.
Love it. So I had him ranked at 42. And he's somebody that's just like consistently moved up my board this year. Obviously, there wasn't a ton of film available on him earlier in the year, and I was able to get a half a dozen games of his in. And at first, I was like, okay, like it's cool, you know, it's cool. And then the more I watched him, it's just like, man, this kid's got like I said, a level of like kind of swagger to him that's kind of intoxicating in a way.
Sure. Yeah, I get it. And there's a considerable wingspan argument. I mean, you're talking about a 6'8" guard forward with a 7-foot wingspan.
Yeah.
Still, you know, he's 21 years old. He shot it pretty well this year.
Yeah.
Right.
And rebuilt his shot, because the footage that I found from last year to this year, that ain't the same jump shot. Like this kid went to the lab and went, if I'm going to be an NBA player, here's what I need to do. And that level of self-awareness for me, for a young guy who's not in the spotlight at all, right? Like he wasn't in the spotlight. He did that shit of his own accord to find a way. And there's something about that is just very, like, I just love it. I love that level of self-awareness where you're willing to take a step back to really do something. Because, you know, if you're getting results, why would you change? Because you have a bigger plan than results you're getting.
I like Shenko's, like I think this is a rare 56 pick that actually has a really good chance to work out. He has a really solid, quick shooting form. He makes great defensive impact.
Yeah.
You know, aggressive is the word. You know, he's a very aggressive basketball player. And as you said, like he rebuilt his shot. That's huge. I question his decision making, creation, ball handling, and there's flashes. But at 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan, this is a massive, massive bet.
And
But
there
good
was
bet.
a pretty large leap in ball skills over the course of this year. Like
Sure.
the level of competency with the ball in his hands is good. And it keeps improving. And like I said, like the biggest kind of indicator for this guy was every time I watched him, something new was added to his game. So like I've never met him. I haven't heard a lot of people give advanced scouts on him. I don't have any information about him as a person.
Masai Ujiri just got him.
But every time you see him, something's improved. Whereas a guy like Karim Lopez, every time I saw him, it was the same guy. And that's why I was low on him, like much lower than consensus. Right. It's just because like there didn't seem to be, and the intel on him was that there's not a lot of self-awareness there. Right. So, but yeah, so like I'll always bet on those kids that have the requisite level of talent and physicality, but there's also that self-awareness of I'm going to keep chipping away and chipping away and chipping away.
Right. Agreed. The pick has been traded from LA to Dallas, according to somebody here, Papa Mochi, who has not lied to us once yet. So
that's very interesting too, that the Lakers would trade up to that pick.
The Lakers bought the
and
pick,
then
right?
trade
And
out.
not traded it.
It's almost like they had a promise to somebody, and then that
It's
player
possible
got
they had a
jacked, and then they
promise
said,
to
"Screw
Henry
it."
Visa, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
somebody
the way I read that, at least.
Then somebody gave them the middle finger.
Yeah,
we could have been that team, but we don't have balls. Fuck. It's okay. I'm cool with Jaden Bradley, man.
Dude, I'm super pumped. Like I said, like that balances out some feelings for me about this draft a little bit. And then we'll see what they do in the UDFA market, because they are always active in the UDFA market.
Yeah.
Which isn't the sexiest thing in the world, but like I said, I trust Tolzman's eye, right? Like I trust those evals, especially on the guys where it's like, can we get a pro in a spot where guys are kind of expected to fail?
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
Where are we at here? So it's the Hawks next. Oh no, it's going to the Clippers. And the Mavs have had a really good draft. I think they've added some really, really fun pieces to their team. I like the Morez Johnson pick. I love the fact that they traded for De La Rhea, and then adding Ischenko. Really, really solid, versatile draft.
Absolutely. I'm still kind of feeling like, okay, there's two picks. The two of the Mission guys, Morez Johnson at 9. I'm not in love with that, and Yaxel at 10. I'm not in love with that either. 11, sorry. Yeah, those two picks to me did not scream good ideas.
Yeah, and I was really high on both. Like Yaxel, the only question for me is he going to reach a point where he just kind of figures out the maturity side of thing? He's a divisive person, and like I say, he's not out there robbing banks. Like, he's not a bad dude, but like there's an immaturity there that's like very clear and apparent. Dusty may shit on him early in the year about it, and like it's been constant, right? So will that landing spot in that system be good for him?
Like, what are the odds that he's the best player available on the board at 11 when they actually picked over
for that team?
Yeah, sure. Okay, for that team, sure, because that team is going to be retiring Steph Curry in 2 years. So
yeah, for that team, I love the fit.
Yeah, but like for the next 2 years, what about 3 years from now? What about 4 years from now? 5 years from now? 6 years from now?
Incredibly versatile player that you can plug into any scheme, any system, and he's going to be good. So like, is the ceiling as high as some guys? No, I think the ceiling's high though. He's new to
Dude,
basketball as well, right?
I mean, he's relatively new to basketball. Like
He played 11 games of high school basketball.
if you put Alperen Sengun, but he played basketball before that. Like he's new to organized
basketball.
Structured basketball. But like if you put Alperen Sengun, in college basketball right now, he's averaging 34 points per game.
Like at this point, or when he was drafted?
No, at this point, like right now. All-star Alperen Sengun. Put him in college basketball. I want to remind you, Alperen Sengun is younger than Axel Lendeberg. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't that make you think? Like Josh Giddey's younger than Alperen than Axel Lendeberg. So to me, when you're 24 years old almost, you better be like standing out. And he was clearly their best player. No doubt. He was better than Morez. He's better than Adai. But he wasn't like clearly better than everyone. Like and at that point, I'm a little bit concerned that if you're not leaps and bounds ahead of people at that age, you're approaching like basketball prime age, and you're already so athletic, so big, so strong. That's where I draw the comparison. Is just say this would be like watching a kid who's 18 play like U15.
Yeah, but like to the same effect, like then you can say, okay, like he took the challenge of going to a stacked team where he was going to have to take less, coming off a year where he averaged 18 and 11. And
why did he go back to school? Because he wasn't going to be a top 10 pick last year, right? He was probably going to be closer to 18, 19, 20. So he wins a national championship. And what do you make of the fact that according to some people, and I can't confirm this, he was number 2 on their board?
So and like that, obviously they're a team fit team, but like that's crazy to me. Like that's crazy. Like that's a weird eval. But like I really like
that's fireable. That's fireable.
He was drafted in the exact spot that I had him ranked.
Okay.
So like I had him at 11, he got picked 11. Like it makes sense for the guys that were picked after him. Like I had Mara ranked lower. I had Steinbach ranked lower. Did anybody that was drafted like pretty much he was in the right spot. The only person that jumped ahead of him, like I'm obviously low on Mikel Brown. That's the only difference, but like I think Yaxel is one of those guys that, like I said, like the maturity is scary. But when you get a guy who you can plug into any spot, any role, and he's just proven that he can do what's necessary to be successful in any of those situations, that versatility and high level versatility, not just like be a guy, but be a star in that role. Right. So that's where I really like him. And I'll say this, coming into the season, had him 25, 27, midway through the season, had him 20, 22. He just kept climbing. And then when he busted up his leg in the national semi and it looked like he was out, came out, obviously didn't have a great national final, but he was in rough shape for that final. Man, he battled through. He played his ass off. Right. And very, very like there's like I respect his level of toughness and compete, is the other X factor.
For sure. It was the opposite end of how people felt about Darren Peterson. But I don't think it's going to work out to the level of there's even one iota of a potential chance that he's an all-star. I just don't see it.
So
I don't see it.
Who drafted below him would you have picked in that spot?
I think we all know the answer to this question.
What, Bennett Sturt's there?
No.
Oh, I was like, I don't like that fit at all.
No, it's the guy who went 14th.
Wait, what's wrong with me here? Who went 14? What was 14? Oh, Steinbach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, there's less up down versatility there. Like You know, like he might be able to play the 4. He's a little bit of a tweener between a 4 and a 5. Like that's going to scare some teams. Like he's not a true center. He's not a true 4 yet. There's some projection there. There's some development that's going to have to take place. A team like Golden State, who's looking to kind of extend their window as much as they can, Lendeborg's going to come in and you can scheme him however you want. And he's going to be able to play now. In a
Look,
role now and
but
defend now.
But this is bad asset management to me. Look, the 10th overall pick has a lot of value because of what it represents in terms of potential. When you take a player a little bit unimaginatively into the plug-in play now, I think 10 is way too early to do that. I genuinely think 20 is too early to do that. I think you have to pick best player available and take the best guy available because you're signing a 4-year deal. Now, I understand that they can view this like a little bit of a mini free agency situation where, okay, maybe if Jaxel Lendeborg was an unrestricted free agent, you're paying $16 million, $18, $20 million. The 11th overall pick is not cheap. Still paying $7 million. So I would rather just trade down and get a player who's comparable. If you just want a player who plugs in and can immediately impact winning right now, I think there's players available who are of comparable impact 15 down.
Who? With that level of versatility?
It doesn't have to be that level of versatility. Why does it have to be that level of versatility? Why does it have to be that archetype player?
Because they have holes. Like they have legitimate holes, right? He is somebody that kind of gives insulation to their 3, 4, and their 5. Because they have no problem playing a small ball 5, and he is 6'9". He's 250 pounds with a 7'3" wingspan. He can play the small ball 5 and stretch the floor from there. You can play him with Draymond. If you bring in Porzingis again, you can play him with Porzingis. If you want to go ultra big and play him at the 3 with Draymond and Porzingis, you can do that.
You're going to hate what I'm going to say next.
And on offense and defense, he can do both things. And like he's one of the, for sure, without debate, he's a top 10 defender in this draft class, right? Mm-hmm. So on offense, he can scheme and do a bunch of different things, score at all 3 levels. And on defense, he can defend 3 positions. So like that's a huge insulation there, okay, right? And do it all at a fairly high level.
This is crazy, but I'm gonna say that this is what I would have done. I would have called the Charlotte Hornets and seen if they were willing to trade 14 and 18 for 10. Plus maybe some stuff, maybe seconds and stuff. Let's just see. Maybe there's somebody they're in love with, right? And I would have done this before the Dallas Mavericks picked Morris Johnson.
But they tried to do it now. Charlotte and Memphis said. Charlotte said no.
Okay, but Memphis didn't have the 11th pick, right?
No, not Memphis. Charlotte said no. They tried to trade down to Charlotte.
Okay, that's good. Oh, Trey Kaufman-Renn from Purdue Boilermakers. Dope. I like him.
I do like Trey Kaufman-Renn. I don't know how it's going to work necessarily, but like he's fun. That's going to be fun as hell in summer league.
Yeah. Okay. He is off the board, which leaves Milos Uzan. That sucks. He'll get picked up quick.
Well, Jaron Pierre Jr., my guy.
Kadir Copeland didn't get drafted. What?
No, which like I'm kind of crossing my fingers.
He's pushing himself. Yeah, so there's what I would have done. I mean, if not that, then what I would have done is I would have tried to trade down with the Toronto Raptors, go 10 for 19, just see if maybe the Raptors would be willing to do that. And I would have just taken and close your ears. You're not gonna hit like this. I would have taken Alan Graves.
He's nowhere near the player that Lendeborg is.
Not yet.
But they're not worried about not yet. They're worried about trying to get shit done today because, like you said, Steph's got 2 years left. Draymond's got time. You know what I mean?
I don't think you saw my live earlier. I have a feeling that Alan Graves is going to be really, really good, really fast.
Dude, you've turned into the biggest Alan Graves hype machine on the internet. from 26th ranked to the number 1 player on the board.
You keep saying 26th ranked. I've never had him 26th ranked.
Sorry, 23rd ranked.
Yes, 23rd ranked for what I thought what the Raptors were going to do. 21st ranked on my own board. And you know what? After our debate last night, I went back and I watched more Alan Graves film. Yeah. I simply am doubling down.
Yeah.
It's not about what he is. It's about how he thinks.
Yeah, but being able to think it and be able to get to the thought is 2 different things, you know. And like I said, when he played against higher level teams, he could think it. He couldn't get to the spot.
His analytics were awesome against higher level
Unless
teams.
what? So they weren't though. So
They
we're
were.
going to do this debate again. But
No,
again,
we're not going to relitigate this.
Ken Palm top 100 teams. When he faced good teams, steal rate cut in half, block rate cut in half. On the season,
went up.
On the season, his team defense, effective field goal percentage, better with him off the court. Rim protection numbers, better with him off the court. Right? He's a very fun player, but there's a reason he played 22 minutes a game.
Yeah, conditioning.
It's not just conditioning. There was
But
lots of time.
it's just 19 too, right? You're
20.
acting like it.
He
Okay,
turns
20, but you're
25
acting
days
like
after the draft.
you're acting like he's not gonna develop. That this is
No, he's definitely gonna. Okay, you know what? We're gonna have this. You know what? We're gonna. I will write this into my calendar. Okay, by February 24th, you and I are gonna have another conversation. We're gonna revisit this conversation. We're gonna revisit this whole clip, and we're gonna see if you've changed your mind at that point or if I've changed my mind at that point. I am very willing to change my mind. When I'm presented with new information, I'm very quick to change my mind.
But my question is so what would be a success? So based off of how high you are on him, what's the stat line?
Okay, so I don't care about stats. What I care
you're
about
giving me stats as the sales pitch for him.
I'm really not. I told you he thinks the game, and you told me, well, you have to make it there. So we're not going to do that thing where we're going to pretend that I'm saying something I'm not. I don't care about stats. What I care about is addressing your specific points. Your specific points are that the switchability will not scale to the NBA level. Okay, that's the first barrier that I want to get past. Number two, that the finishing will not progress throughout the year. That's my second thing. I'm not suggesting
not that it won't
70%
progress.
of the rim.
It's not going to turn into like it's not a high level skill. Like he'll finish, but like the finishing even in college wasn't great.
Okay, like I know that, but what I'm saying is I think his technique on finishes kind of sucks, and I think that Darko and Evo are going to fix that over the summer. And once again, I'm going to say this: I think he's a quick study. I didn't see him make a lot of similar mistakes back to back to back. I saw him learn quickly. I saw him get better throughout the year, although he got injured. So look, I'm telling you, I think this guy's going to get better really quickly. And you know, to the people who are like, oh my God, this is another Raptors content creator who's just like coping for it. Dude, I didn't like the Elijah Martin pick. I never changed my mind on it.
Pick, though.
I don't care. I didn't like the Grady pick.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I
don't
don't
like
know
the
many
Malachi
people.
Flynn pick. I mean, look, there's just certain guys where I'm just like, I can't get on board with it. And I'll admit when I'm wrong. I loved Andrea Bargnani. I loved it. I was so happy we didn't pick LaMarcus Aldridge. I was an idiot, you know, back then.
There was no number one guy in that draft though either, right? There were 7 dudes. You know what I mean? Like that was a coin flip draft. No, like the rankings on that, like the betting lines and shit were wild. You know,
you had betting lines back then?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't see that.
365.
In 2000,
you bet on anything in Europe. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think when he gets into better shape and better condition, I think he's going to take better angles to the rim. I think he's going to improve his strength. And the most important thing is I think he's going to shoot it better. Like shoot it on good volume at the NBA. And I think he's going to hit shots. So whether he does it in the G League, I am just curious. This is not a, you know, like, oh, look, he's averaging 4 points per game and 3 rebounds per game and has a 1.6 box plus minus. So he's awesome. I don't care about that. I'm saying it's not going to fail the way some people think it's going to fail. And I think it's going to get better and better and better really quickly. That's my guess.
So I don't think it's going to fail. Like that's never been my take. Like I said, C+. I gave it a C+. You know, I think he's a rotation player. I think he will be a competent rotation player. And I think
there's like 4 players on the board that you wouldn't have given a C+ to in that same position. So it is going to fail. If all 4 of those players end up better than him, then it failed. If 4 players,
he's not gonna fail as a player though. Like I think he's a good basketball player. I just think there were better basketball players, right? So I still think he's going to be a good NBA player,
right? This is a debate that we had on PC today. You know, because Chill gave AJ DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, and Cam Boozer all A's, like A+, right?
Yep.
And then he said for Caleb Wilson, this is going to be the best player in the draft, A+. And it's like, if you think number 4 is the best player in the draft, then how the fuck are 1, 2, and 3 A+? I'm sorry, I disagree with that. So if you're like, look, I think that Alan Graves in a redraft will go top 14. That's my view. I think in a redraft in 3-4 years, I think he'll be a top 14 player in this draft. I'm not projecting any higher than that, but that to me is an upper rotation guy. If I go back draft after draft after draft, a top 14 guy is like Al Harrington, like that, Kirk Heinrich, but
like
a little bit worse. Like
so
good players.
But here's the thing, like we're kind of saying the exact same thing.
We're
is my
definitely
point.
not.
Well, we are, because what I'm saying is that he's a super high floor player. I think he's going to be a good basketball player.
But you think
right?
the ceiling is limited, and you
if
think
his floor is
guaranteed.
super high,
But I don't
then
think the
he's
floor
going
is
to
super
turn
high.
into a good rotation player. There are going to be players with significantly more skills that do bust once in a while. Like that's going to happen.
But that's
right?
the debate. I don't think his floor is super high. I think his floor is pretty low, and I think his ceiling is a lot higher than most people give it credit for.
You think Alan Graves' floor is low?
As a 19th overall pick, if your floor is you could be a third string power forward used in utility situations who can't switch, yeah, that's a pretty low floor for a 19th overall pick in a stacked draft where LeBaron Philon was still on the board, where Chris Senac was still on the board, where Acquaintance was still on the board. Yeah, like if that's your floor, that's a pretty low floor, man.
But like when I talk about floor, I talk about what your floor is as a player. Like Sinac's floor doesn't get a second NBA contract, right? Like his ceiling is, if it all pops, like it's potential all-star. There's just a wide spread in that, right?
You know what grade I gave Senac on Player's Choice? I gave them an A++ with the asterisk F.
Yeah, no, and that's what he is, right? Like that's the Senac thing, right? So I agree with that take entirely, because it's going one of two ways. Either it works out really well, or the NBA career is real short and he ends up being a really good player in Australia. Like those are kind of the two options for him. Like I'm not saying he's Tyler Smith, but like there's similarities between him and Tyler Smith, right? Like in terms of it's boom or it's bust. And I was very much on team bust on that one. But like with Graves, I think that I think he's going to be a long-term pro. Like, I think he's going to be a guy that like finds his way into rotations for a long time. I just think that there is limitations to what he can do because of the combination of athleticism and size. If you told me that he was going to somehow wave a magic wand and his athleticism was going to improve by 30% and he was going to be able to cover threes with consistency, that would be a different thing entirely.
Yes. That's what I
like
think.
how?
Yeah, once again,
that's not getting in physical shape. That's altering your DNA. There is an athletic ceiling for everybody.
I've seen him guard threes with levels.
You've seen him guard mediocre WCC threes.
Yes, when I don't believe he was in good shape. This is once again the debate point here. I don't think he's in anywhere close to the shape that he needs to be conditioned at the basketball level, but I think his instincts are awesome. I think his length is awesome. And I said it multiple times yesterday, and I'll say it today. There's not many problems that being 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan and having a hyper processor for a brain can't solve defensively. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be locking him up like OG Anunoby, but he doesn't need to. He just needs to stick with his man. He needs to be able to give him a little bit of space. Keegan Murray. Okay, Keegan Murray is a great example. Keegan Murray is not necessarily the twitchiest guy. You'd say he's a better athlete than him and whatever, and apparently everyone's a better athlete than him, but Keegan Murray can stick with some threes.
But Keegan Murray is legitimately a better athlete. He was a 50th percentile athlete in his combine. Like, and that's the
other thing. I don't pay attention to those combine metrics because I don't think that he measured well in the combine. But I don't think that's
tape.
I didn't see it on tape.
The slow feet. Oh, he's got heavy feet, dude. Like he is. And
Scotty Barnes has heavy feet.
No, those are not comparable athletes. Scotty Barnes is like he is I call him a horizontal athlete or a diagonal athlete. You know what I mean? He's not the biggest leaper and he's not the fastest guy, but he's got this combination of both that makes this functional athleticism super high. He's also great and has super mobile hips.
This is the funniest comment in the world. I'm sorry. Alan Graves cooked future forensic accountants in college.
Fuck.
Fuck you, man. I'm sorry. Hilarious. That's funny as hell.
That's
look,
hilarious.
I'm gonna look, listen, a lot of people are selling Alan Graves stock. Fuck it. I'm gonna buy it. This is a classic, buy it at the bottom, but maybe it's catching a knife.
You're gonna buy it so he can be a a rotation player?
I'm buying it because I trust that he's going to learn angles really quickly, that he's going to get into better shape, and that it's just going to look a lot better. I've seen players get into better shape, and it's looked better. And again, I watched him in high school. I watched some of the high school tape. I watched early. There were certain games that maybe you watch those where he wasn't feeling right. He just was injured. But again, watching the high school tape, I don't care about the competition. I care about like how fast your feet are moving and how quickly you're changing directions. I understand that reacting to a Kyrie Irving is different than reacting to a guard in a pro-am. But that being said, like, you're 6'9". I don't expect you to hang with Kyrie Irving. If you could do that, you'd be a top 5 pick. So I just think his hands are so active. I think his timing on reads and his passing lane disruptiveness is legitimately insane, and I think he'll shoot it. So, the swing skill for me is, can he shoot at a really high level at a good volume? Can he shoot automatic? Can he, I said, like, can you replace all the minutes this year that were given to Grady Dick and Jameson Battle in a bigger frame?
So here's a legitimate another concern that I did have about him, and this is more of an adjustment thing, but it does factor, and it's not as easy to do as some people will make it seem. Do you think he can get his shot off if he's guarded? It's out in front. It's from a lower angle, and it's a really slow release where he has like a pretty significant dip in his release as well. Like, he is a drop it down to his dick, bring it up, push it out front guy. Like, his release is
Roko Lenny Ukic shot
like
form?
dude, it's very slow. Like, it's a very slow release. So like, I believe he can hit unguarded threes, and that's why I was saying yesterday, like, he needs to be a guy in the corners. But do you think if he gets to a point where he's defended on the 3-point line, do you think he can get that shot off against NBA length?
Define NBA length. Scotty Barnes? No.
Well, if he's playing 3, 4, or 5, he's going to be facing better athletes than him for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Longer guys in a lot of those cases, unless you're covering him with a random 2. Like, you're like, he's not unbelievably long or unbelievably big. There are lots of 3s in the game that have better size than he does. So if you've got long athletes with better mobility, if he's covered, if he's defended, do you think he can create enough separation to get his shot off with consistency? Or do you think he is a guy that has to live on unguarded 3s?
I think he has to live on shots taken when the defender is at least 5 feet away.
So that's what I'm saying, right? So
but this is where the ball skill and the strength comes in, because if you can get a little bit, and I really don't think his shooting form is as bad as you think,
say, just slow.
I don't think it's as slow as you say. Like, I've had concerns with certain people's shooting forms, and I mean, I could slow his shooting form down on tape. I'm going to do it tomorrow, but I'm going to do a full film breakdown with him. I think genuinely, I think his issue, and I think the Raptors are buying in this, is like, he does not bring it down to his dick, as you say. Like,
not always, obviously, but like, so he does have a dip, right? He is a dip shooter for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna actually bring it up on screen.
Yeah,
and we can see it for ourselves.
But like I said, for shot form, it's just slow, right? Like, he can get it off against college guys in the WCC.
I think too much is being. I think people are overthinking the WCC part of this equation.
The WCC was really bad this year.
No, I know. Okay, so let's see the shot form. I'm going to slow this down. So to anyone, this is at 50% speed. So I just want to see the shooting form.
Dip down to his dick, right? Like, that's a dip. It's unguarded. Watch, slow it. Dip. Right? Unguarded, and he still has to dip. Jump step plant. Ball still not elevated, out in front. Right? Like I said, like, there's a question there.
It's not Mike Miller. It's not Jason Kapono. It's not Peja Stojakovic, but it's not the worst I've seen. And
no, not the worst at all. But it's just slow. Like, it's just slow.
Let me tell you when this would bother me. If he was 6'4", the shooting form would bother me. If he was 6'9", this doesn't bother me. What I'm gonna bet is that he's gonna speed this up and he's going to raise it a little bit. And this is where I say the brain is the great amplifier. I think he can slowly move this up and speed it up a little bit. I think he's going to pick that up really well. And this is just, this is like the unquantifiable element of scouting, where you have to trust that certain players are very good at cleaning things up, right? Okay, let's see here. Little shot fake, not like basically just pulling this. And this is where I say, okay, if he's stronger, there's more separation here because the bump is bigger, right? So he just didn't get clean separation on many of his drives because he's not explosive, he's not fast. And this is where I say, like, if he gets stronger and in better shape, a lot of these things get cleaned up, and then you unlock the passing and the playmaking. I also think that this is a player who plays better with better players.
I like I said, my favorite thing about him is the passing rates. Like, I think in a 0.5 offense, I think the passing plays. It's just he needs to get defended. For the passing
so again, like, so everyone's
out.
saying like, oh, he did this in WCC. Imagine him with Scotty Barnes. Like,
but again, though, you have to be able to be defended to get those looks, right?
Sure.
In the WCC, he's going to get defended. If in the NBA you can sag off of him, the passing reads don't work as much.
But you can't sag off of him because he can hit open threes. See, like, that's the whole point. You draw that at least one defender. Nobody's asking him to collapse double teams. Nobody's asking him to be Kawhi Leonard. I'm saying, can you be guarded well enough that your man can cut into space and you can pass over the defense? The other thing is, big playmakers are awesome because they can see angles that other people can't. The same thing that applies to Cade Cunningham applies to him, in that sense, or the same thing that applies to Scotty Barnes. There's just angles you can't take away because his head is high. And the other thing is, I like how quickly he changes possession ends. Watching a clip the other day where he blocked the shot out of bounds on a guard. Okay, so here's another jump shot. Hang on. Look, my only resistance was you said he took it down to his dick.
The first highlight, he did take it down to his dick.
Pause. How big do you think that shit is? It's not his belly button. What the hell, bro?
He took it down to his pelvis.
This is not his pelvis. This is his abdomen. What are we doing here? Okay, that's a pump fake.
That's a pump fake.
He successfully faked me out, and there's the pass. Look, if you're going to get run off the line, you're going to get at least one defender off balance, and then you're going to drive into a second defender. The minute he has two defenders, that shot that he's going to create out of that is going to be wide open. And again, it's just like, we're not going to pretend here that this is a non-scorer, like that Sam Vecini, zero level scorer shit. He's not a zero level scorer at all. So nothing that applies there applies here. And it's just like the thing. It's just like, with Scotty CMB, my vision of it is exactly this. You cut into space. Now you're playing with Scotty Barnes. Now you're playing with Brandon Ingram. Now you play with Jamal Shed. Now you play with Jaden Bradley. You got good playmakers on your team. You just cut into space, man. I think it's going to work.
But those are skills that I already say are going to work. It's just, can he do more than that? Because if he can't do more than that, if he can't generate paint touches, if he can't take it off the dribble and create separation.
Well, answer this. If he could, wouldn't he be top 10, but if he could do those things, he'd be a top 10 pick. Point is mute.
Not necessarily.
If he had no athleticism concerns and like he could take it off the dribble and he could guard threes and he did this as a freshman, my God, yes.
Well,
anyways,
obviously if he had no athletic concerns and he was doing that stuff, of course, but like, that's also like, if we completely change the DNA of player X, would they be better? Of course.
Yeah. I think like, I think over the last 2 days, we've had like healthy debates about this. And, now we've seen a little bit of film, him dipping it down to his pelvis / dick / abdomen. We can't even agree on that. Here's another one, takes it nice, clean. I like that it goes in soft. We'll see, man. I'm rooting for the kid heavy. I'm sure you are as well. As
absolutely.
And we all are. I think I was watching the Raptors Republic draft coverage of it. They had to cut the video. They cut out the video because apparently they'd spent 4 minutes saying there's no way we're picking Allen Graves, no way we're picking Allen Graves right before the pick. I think one of their people, and then they picked Allen Graves, and then they had to do an about turn like 180. And I am just like, I sat here saying like, Allen Graves. And then thankfully, right before the Allen Graves pick, I said, man, I'd much rather Allen Graves than Tyrus Reed. Oh my God. Safe.
It's funny. I did see the video of S walking around Chicago. Distraught. That video killed me, man. That video absolutely killed me. Like it looked like I don't know. It looked like he just got broken up with, or like something tragic happened in his life. Like he was so distraught and trying to figure out a way to rationalize it and self-talk himself into it. But like again, I think he's a good player. This is an archetype of player that I really like, right? This is an archetype of player that I cheer for all the time. I just have concerns about if there's enough mobility for him to be able to unlock the parts of his game that I really like. Right. And that's the concern for me, right? If he has to be a small ball 5 because the feet just don't get better, that's a tough life, right? That's a tough life for him. If he finds ways to quicken the jump shot and he finds ways to, instead of being a 1 to 2 dribble guy, he can be a 2 to 3 dribble guy. Like that may not sound like a big deal, but like that, that's a big damn deal, And like I say, he's a smart kid. I have faith that he can develop some of these things.
So who would you have picked?
It would have been Carr or Quains for me 100%, because like I said, I would rather have the guy that offers an explosive ceiling or the guy who offers something that I view as an elite skill. Right.
I actually, I just uncovered this very rare tape of Alan Graves' leadership. Hang on, I just want to show it to you guys. It's pretty amazing.
This thing. Yeah, he's right. Let's try to win, but not win by too much. Wait, we don't want to win by too much?
That's a great sport.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy, right? Great suit, likes Peaky Blinders. He's a great guy, man. Beat the shit out of accountants. Appreciate it. Love it. I'm rooting for this kid hard, man, because everyone's sleeping on him, and I don't like it. Personally, I think he's a way better player. Like, he's a hooper super. Like, this is a guy I would love to play with, personally. I'm not necessarily saying that says anything about his NBA projection. I would love to be on his team. And historically, I said the same thing about Jamal Shead. I said the same thing about Scotty Barnes. I would love to play with that dude. That's the guy I want to be on a team with. And I think the Raptors are betting on the brain. And, there might be some limitations in what people think the brain can do, but I think we're going to find out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I can't wait for summer league.
Do you think there's I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to go down, and never mind. Let's not do this. But yeah.
He'll be better than this guy, I'll tell you that.
Jackie Moon?
He'd be better than Jackie Moon.
I don't know, man. Jackie Moon was pretty good. That's the best owner / player / coach in the industry.
/ promoter. You forgot
/ promoter, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I like I said, hey, I'm a Raptors fan. I want Alan Graves to be great, right? But again, I try to be objective, and I try to stick to the
analysis.
I don't want to get blinded by my fandom, so I do try to stick to what my analysis and what my eval was, right? So it's easy for me to go try to feel good about it, right? But I've got to stick to my eval with what it is. Now, again, there's 2 guys with the last name George who I was exceptionally low on.
Keontae George
and Keyshawn George. Like Keyshawn George, I was unbelievably low on because at Miami, he was terrible. He couldn't defend a shadow. I think my mom could have beaten him off the dribble. He couldn't shoot. He was inefficient. He looked lazy. There was
you want to know something about Keyshawn George? Really smart guy.
Well,
I actually know some people who are close to him. That dude is smart.
But the Miami tape was a disaster, and that program was a disaster, to be fair. But that tape was a disaster. You tell me at that time if he would have turned into. If you told me at the time that he would turn into a damn good defender, I would have been shocked by it. Because like I said, every now and again, you just read it wrong. Maybe Alan Graves comes in the league and he just finds a way to, like I said, Kyle Anderson it, where it's like the mobility doesn't factor as much because of the smarts. I think that could be the way it goes.
You have a new name.
Expensive seats? Why would I be expensive? Why are you paying me for this appearance? I'll take $5,000 as my fee. You know,
5K. Damn, you taking Stephen A. Smith money? No,
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith would take $1 million.
Yeah, Steve would take a lot just to get dog shit takes for an hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sean Bradley's
Hilarious.
Man, that's crazy. Jaden Bradley being Sean Bradley's long lost son. Just Jaden,
Yeah.
Just like, Daddy, please come home. And Sean Bradley's like, fuck you, kid. I ain't paying you alimony, nothing. I'm 7'6". Fuck you, man. I'm married. I impregnated a 4'2" white woman from Alabama.
Yeah. On that note, though, I need to go. My kid has his last day of school tomorrow, my younger guy. So I need to go tell him to start getting ready for bed because I know he's not going to do that until I tell him. Because he's already in summer holiday mode.
Is this a Nate Biddle
All
fan?
right, guys, I'm gonna drop off too. Thank
All right, peace, Stefe. Is this a Nate Biddle fan?
No, the older one. The older one.
You also got to go. You got to console your other son and tell him why his favorite basketball player. White Shaquille O'Neal didn't get drafted.
He wasn't that high on Nate Biddle. He thought Nate Biddle was like a good second rounder. I
had a top 50 grade on him. So
yeah, so you and Karik, my son, have about the same grade on Nate Biddle. Draftable, So, but yeah, no, like always a pleasure, man. Great, talks. I love debating this shit with you. And like I said, I think the first 2 times that we were on, we fucking nearly agreed on everything. So it's nice that we can have some minor agreements.
No, this is war. This is a war of takes. We got bets. We got bets going.
That's dope. And like I said, let's do one. We'll pop on together after some of the UDFA market gets settled, and we can see who the Toronto Raptors picked up in UDFA.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, maybe we'll do a little off-season preview or something.
Sure, and we'll do a review after Summer League and just see how Alan Graves, wowed everybody with his spectacular Michael Jordan-esque athleticism, hang time, and verticality at the rim.
That's right, brother.
First play from Alan Graves, between the legs, dunk.
God, I hope so.
Reverse tomahawk jams. That's
I'll retweet the video if it happens.
Yeah.
But we'll chat. And everybody, like I say, if you want to give me a follow on YouTube or whatever, it's CheapSeat73, and check out some stuff you want to watch an Alan Graves scouting breakdown. I've got one on there that I've
absolutely. You also had a mock draft up, you had a big board up, you have multiple videos. You're very active. You're a lot more active than I am. You're active on all channels.
I'm getting there. I'm trying to build it up. Get to that. What are you 15K or something? I'm trying to catch you.
I don't know. You'll catch me in no time. I have no doubt. All right, man. Peace. Talk to you later.
See you, buddy.
Bye-bye. See ya. Okay, the second round is over. Jaden Bradley and Alan Graves, our Toronto Raptors, the all-time vibes picks on both fronts. Would I have preferred a center who can block shots? Sure. I get you. But there's some sort of weird obsession in this fan base with 7-footers. I'm not really sure why that exists. 7-footers are not extinct. It's just very hard to get them in the second round. And so hopefully my hope remains that Trace Jackson Davis or Ulrich Stromschi work out. Christian Koloko is a free agent right now, right? Myself and many Raptor fans cried over the waiving of Christian Koloko for years. So, Bradley played against way better comp. Oh, the hell he did. Of course he did. Arizona's, huge conference powerhouse. Look, Jaden Bradley just wins, and I smiled. So I rarely smile, but I smiled when he said Chris Paul, because I'm like, oh, I totally see that. See, it's weird, right? When a really dumbass player says they watch Chris Paul, I get really weird about it. I'm just like, what are you watching? When a really low motor player says, yeah, my favorite player is Kevin Garnett, I pattern myself up to Kevin Garnett. That's weird to me. I remember reading a book, and I'm forgetting the name of the book, but it was about the analytics revolution in the NBA, and it was with fuck's his name? The guy who just got fired from Philadelphia. Who just got fired from Philadelphia? Why am I blanking on his name? I keep thinking Sam Hinkie, but I know it's not Sam Hinkie. Not Sam Presti, not Sam Hinkie. Who am I talking about? Wow, this is such a blank. I'm sorry. Wow. Analytics revolution, Daryl Morey. There we go. Thank you, Daryl Morey. So one of the things that Daryl Morey said was one time they interviewed Satnam Singh. I don't know if you all remember Satnam Singh from IMG Academy, right? And they asked him, like, what player do you model yourself after? And he said Yao Ming and Shaquille O'Neal. And that is when they knew that Satnam Singh was going to be trash, right? So this is where, sometimes these conversations that you listen to with a player, there's such indications, because what other than the mind is driving success? My mind drives success. My mind tells me when to go to sleep or when to, break my diet. My mind, my silly ass mind today at 4 p.m. told me to eat fried food. And then I felt really sleepy and really sluggish for the next 3 hours and ended up delaying this live by an hour. See, my mind does not work like Alan Graves or, frankly, Scotty Barnes. Right. So it's just it's very important to have a head on your shoulders that pushes you in the right direction, gives you the right attention to detail, gets you in the right rooms, gets you listening to the right coaches, puts you in contact with the right trainer and all that stuff. All the stuff that I said today, you know. Thoughts on Kawhi coming back? I don't think he's coming back. Rob, did you see that trash can girl got fired from her job? I don't know who trash can girl is. Who's trash can girl? You can find George Hill type players in the second round. It's been done before. It's not that easy, but I get it. And are you suggesting that suggesting that Jaden Bradley is a George Hill type? Gives me Avery Bradley light. That would be a phenomenal outcome. Dirk Nowitzki and Satnam Singh, I didn't think it was possible, but we drafted someone slower than me. If you want an example of someone who is too slow and too unathletic to play in the NBA, Dirk Nowitzki was freakishly slow, but a very good athlete in a different way. Anyways, what does your ideal offseason look like from now? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a couple of days. We will have a members only stream tomorrow, probably devoted to both of the Raptors draft picks. We'll have a broader film session for the public where we look at some select plays. The benefit of member streams is I don't have to worry about monetization, copyright, and all that stuff and getting flagged because those streams aren't advertised on. So I can go longer with the footage, and I think that's a huge bonus. I'll do that tomorrow. I'm on the panel tomorrow from 11 to 2, but this has been a lot of streaming, man. We went 7.5 hours last night. We went 3 hours this morning. Now we go, 3 hours right now. It's a lot of streaming in a 36-hour sequence or a 24-hour sequence, but we're here, man. We're here. We're doing this. Trading for Walker Kessler would be cool for sure. Busy week. Absolutely. It's draft week, man. And then soon it'll be summer league. And then soon it'll be free agency. Well, it'll be free agency very soon. Then it'll be summer league. And, then it'll be training camp before you know it. And yeah, appreciate you too, man. And thank you very much. Castro to the Bucks on a 2-way. Good deal. We'll see if the Raptors pick up any 2-way guys. I don't think as it currently stands, they necessarily have the slots to do it, unless they're letting loose of some of the players that they're ready to give up on. I wouldn't give up on Jonathan Mobo. Just want to throw that out there. Shams just reported that LaMelo Ball is being pursued by multiple teams, and he could be traded within the next couple of days. Oof. Really? It makes sense, but that's interesting given how well they generated their offense with him on the court. I think that's a very bold move on their part to break that up. But honestly, I've said it all year. Con Knippel was the grown-up. Sion James was the grown-up. Ryan Kalkbrenner was the grown-up. Those are the guys. He requested out? According to who? Who said that he requested out? If he has, in fact, requested out, then it's like, wow. We're finally turning around. We're finally winning. You're finally being held accountable to play defense. You got benched one or two times in the fourth quarter because you were playing like ass, and now you want out. Loser mentality. I've always felt this way. LaMelo Ball has loser tendencies. I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade for him. And the cool thing is the Raptors did not draft 2 losers. The Raptors drafted 2 guys who play the right way. They win. None of them are ever going to be as talented as LaMelo Ball. But that's not how you win basketball games. I don't think the Raptors would trade for LaMelo. We need ball in Scotty's hands more. I mean, honestly, I don't think the Raptors would trade for LaMelo because I think he's a very big distraction, and I think he's a big man-child and a bit immature. Araf Haroon said either Bobby is going to trade for a center or we're screwed. This was our lone super chat of the day. I don't think so. I think you have a lot of big wings who can slot in at center. I think, Scotty, unfortunately, Alan Graves. If Sandro comes back, I'm not sure. Trace Jackson Davis, Jakob Pertl, and then obviously Colin Murray Boyles. So, obviously in free agency, I'm looking at a center. I would love to get a center. If you're not bringing Mamba back, I definitely need a center. I might consider trading for Jalen Smith. That'd be interesting. Anyways, shout outs to Jackie Moon. Shout outs to Cheap Seats 73. As mentioned, please go follow Cheap Seats 73. I'll be very excited to see that he got a whole bunch of subscribers after this. He definitely made our live streams a lot better, a lot more entertaining. I know some people have complained that, oh, why are we fighting about the Raptors pick, blah, 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 blah. Look, man, friction is good. Debate is good. If you can't take debate, bad. Daron Sharp is a free agent, isn't he? Nope. He's got one more year left on his deal, and they just traded Nick Claxton, presumably, to make some room for him. I don't know how well he fits in with Julius Randle, but yeah. Zigzag Puzzle said he added a lot to the draft. I agree. I think, as much as I would love to take all the credit for the number of views we pulled in yesterday, I know that a big reason that people watched as long as they did and wanted to, share the video and stuff is because Sheep Seats was here as well. So I very much appreciate that. Thank you very much to him. And yes, I agree. And I'll be very pissed to be wrong, because then that means that the Raptors really did get nothing in this draft, right? But yes, like, Windhorse and Marks, Kawhi Leonard's potential trade availability is being reportedly monitored by Detroit Pistons and perhaps more notably by some of his former teams. Yeah, well, San Antonio exists. He just came off a title run. It's close enough to LA, not that close to LA, but closer to LA than Toronto. I mean, it would be hilarious if the Clippers, after all of this nonsense, shipped him back to Toronto, but I would welcome Kawhi back with open arms. I remain a very big Kawhi Leonard supporter and a big Kawhi Leonard fan. I think he's still an awesome basketball player and a top 10 player. And I think he'd be good for Scotty, just like he was good for everybody here. Grade the draft for the Raptors. A. This is an A draft for me. Kawhi definitely ain't coming back. Yeah. Bobby Marks mentioned Raptors and Spurs as former teams. Well, genius Bobby Marks. Those are his only former teams. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a beautiful night, y'all. Peace.